Today's episode is brought to you by Gray Block Pizza. Gray Block Pizza. You know you want pizza, right? Yeah. So why have anything other than Gray Block? Imagine having it in your mouth, boy. Yeah. 1811 Pico Boulevard on the way to the beach. Gray Block Pizza. Get that hitter. Today's guest is a man that I met at the gun store. And I went in there recently. I'm going to be very honest with you. And I didn't know what I was doing, but I did know that I wanted to get a gun. And this man had so much information and just knew so much in that, in that realm, in the bulletry. And he's also a gunsmith. He's an outdoorsman. And he is a bona fide gun man. My new friend, Nico Furlong. You feel me? I'll fucking drink your blood, bro.
Yeah, speaking of drinking, man.
So Nico, I appreciate you coming in today, man. And because you sold me 2 guns recently.
I did, yeah.
I did. So and I was just thinking about it whenever I was at the gun store.
Yeah.
And what gun store do you work at?
Turner's Outdoorsman. We're on Hawthorne Boulevard, North Torrance.
And they got everything in there.
Everything. We got handguns, revolvers, rifles, shotguns for all your needs. Everything you need. And
I noticed, they have everything. If you want to be a murderer, if you want to be a fisherman, if you want to.
They have the full spectrum. You can go out like North Hollywood. The North Hollywood shootout. You can do just like that. You can shoot deer. You know what I mean? You can put your dog down. Whatever you're into. Yeah, you guys can. Yeah.
You guys can do all of that. Yeah, we had a guy by us actually that when I was growing up that would put people's. He was kind of the guy if you had to put your dog down.
Really?
Yeah.
You just call him up?
You would call him or you just go knock.
Yeah. Would you expect compensation for that, or he would just do it?
No, he would just do it.
Oh, he just liked it, yeah.
Well, no, he was just the kind of guy, he had done it enough. I think a lot of people are scared, I don't want to put my dog down. Right, I don't know how to do it. What if I shoot him in the wrong place? What if I what if some people would try to strangle their dog or something? Like, oh, I can't get him to go down.
My brother put our dog down.
Really?
Yeah, he didn't even mean to, but he did it.
On accident?
Kinda. My dog was sick. I had a little chihuahua,
Oh, yeah.
And he was old and getting sick.
Dog, a frisbee will put that fucking thing down.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can drop a biscuit on the floor. You'll hit him in the head. He's done. Yeah, he's done, dude. Like Reginald Denny, man. Back of the head, just gone. Just like that, yeah. But, he was sick, and he's a little chihuahua, so he wants to sleep in the bed. He goes under the covers, Mm-hmm. I think he was too weak, and he's sleeping with my brother in his bed. Mm-hmm. I don't think he could get out. I think he suffocated, man.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, my brother was not happy.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of that movie, I'm trying to think of that movie. Twins, maybe. Have you seen that movie?
Nah, man.
It's before your time, I think. Can you bring up that?
Twins?
Can you bring up something?
Twins? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So it was a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, though. But,
oh, shit.
I think so. Who was in it? Oh, maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I think when I was born, he was the governor.
Yeah, he was. Before that, he was sleeping with his brother. Yeah, there they are.
Damn, man.
But yeah, dude, you sleep with your brother, bro. So anything could die. It's a fucking risky game.
Oh,
man.
yeah. Well, he's like he's a hairy Italian guy,
Yeah.
There's death under there.
Yeah.
It's gross, man.
One of the reasons I wanted to talk today was just because of, I ended up buying some guns,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and,
you sure did.
And I didn't know if I even wanted any guns, but once the pandemic hit, once the COVID came in, I was like, I think I need to get some guns.
Yeah.
And so I came over there to you guys and yeah, just the whole experience. Like, what has the experience been for you? Like working at a gun store, what has it been like since this pandemic hit?
Well, it's completely unprecedented what's going on. I work there with a lot of guys that have been working in the firearms industry for a long time, real experienced guys, and they've been selling guns for longer than I've been alive.
Oh, dang, man.
And they tell me the same thing, man. They tell me it's unprecedented. The month of March had more background checks done than any other month in the history of the United States. March of 2020. When the first kind of panic started going on, we had over, nearly 200 people outside the store waiting to get in before we open. 4 to 5 hour lines just for service because we were just full of people. And if you know, if you're around LA, there's not that many gun stores. There's a handful just around, especially West LA.
Mm-hmm.
And where we are, kind of like in the epicenter of a bunch of different neighborhoods. So we're by Torrance, Manhattan Beach, Hawthorne, on the way to Gardena. So we're kind of like right in the middle of all that.
Right. So kind of white, getting Mexican-y.
Oh, I'm gonna be honest, man. It's mostly Latino.
Yeah.
Our clientele is mostly Latino, but I was surprised when I started working there, the diversity of people purchasing firearms. It's all types.
And so when you say like how soon after kind of the pandemic hit, or after did you notice there was a certain thing that brought people in? It's like, oh, now we got to go get the guns. Like now,
100%. The vast majority of people in there buying guns as of recent have been brand new gun buyers. Never bought a gun in their life. Never even expected to buy guns. That's for a lot of them. And it was the first time, and I was talking to a lot of my coworkers, it was the first time that people really started talking about openly in the store buying these guns and using them in the defense of their property from people willing to take it from them.
Wow.
A lot of people are like, oh, hey, I want to get a tactical shotgun. And it's like, oh, if you ever ask them, oh, what do you plan on doing with it? Oh, I'll just shoot out the range. I like it. And, it's a good thing for home defense. Okay, granted. That was common. But now it's like, oh, I need to get this because what if someone breaks in and they're trying to take my stuff, or they were just going off about it. They're talking about, it kind of reminded them of the riots in LA in 92. Mm-hmm. Some of the old timers talking about the Watts riots back in, I believe, the 70s.
Yeah. Especially living in this area. That's another thing I thought about. I was like, wow, well, I live in an area that has a history of unrest, of civil unrest if things get squirreled out, really. So, because it's funny because I was even thinking to myself, like, why am I buying a gun? What am I? I think I'd always kind of wanted to get a gun, but I'd never acted on it. And then suddenly it was like, okay, I'm going to get this gun.
Yeah.
And I think it was just, I want to be able to take care of myself. I want to be able to, like, if things get real heated, and somebody's coming over, somebody's stealing diapers from me or stealing water or stealing whatever, like.
They come for that TP, brother. They want that toilet paper, man. They want, They're coming for your collared shirts.
Yeah, people walking. But I guess it's funny because I think my first instinct would be if somebody like really needed help would be to help them.
Right.
But then if somebody's coming in with the intent not looking for help.
Right. They're there for your stuff.
Yeah.
They're there for your life, man. Yeah.
What were have you gotten some wild questions from people during this time?
Oh my God. You have no idea, man. All types. You get all types of weirdos in there, man. I remember one dude was coming in. He was like an older white guy, and he was coming in. He was like, I'm looking for a 45-70 lever action rifle. And 45-70s used to be the standard military cartridge for the U.S. pretty much right after the Civil War, just pretty much until right before World War I. And it's a very powerful, large, big bore cartridge. They use it for buffalo hunting, stuff like that. It's just a very powerful cartridge. And the gentleman I was talking to was like, oh yeah, why are you looking for something like that, And he was like, well, I read that this is a good gun for a riot. I was like, what does that mean? Like, a good gun for a riot? Like, what are you gonna do with it during a riot? And he's just like, oh, like it's a heavy bullet, so it'll just sail through crowds. I was like, God damn, all right, like. It's a good riot cartridge then, man.
It's a way to get to the front of the line,
Oh,
man.
yeah, hell yeah, man. And all types. A lot of people looking for really cheap guns.
Yeah.
I need something under $200. It was like, dude, I'm going to sell you a knife, man. I can't there's not too many guns.
Yeah, I'm
going to
sell you a fast knife.
You can throw it, man.
Yeah.
There's your range.
And so, but you got a lot of new users in for the first time.
Yeah.
And what's the gun that you usually recommend for those types of people?
If they're looking for, first I got to ask them, are you looking for a rifle? You're looking for a shotgun? You're looking for a handgun? Most people can at least answer that question. Like, what out of those three major categories are you looking for?
Right.
And if they're looking for a handgun, I recommend just most polymer frame striker fired pistols, really easy to use, like a Glock, for an example, Springfield XDs. But we're limited on what we can get here in California. Smith & Wesson, Shield, Smith & Wesson SD9s, that kind of thing. Those guns are really popular for new gun buyers because they're really, really simple to use, and they're just effective. They just do the job. That's it.
And when you say that, so California has like different laws, like would they have different, we can't get certain types of guns here, you mean? Or we can't?
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Well, long guns, rifles and shotguns, you're not really limited on the exact specific guns you can get. They have to be California compliant, which
Okay.
means they have to have a list of features that are not on the gun. It's really stupid and convoluted. And then for handguns, there's something called the California Handgun Roster, where there's an actual list of designated models that you can buy here in California. What that pretty much entails, as far as I understand it, is that they pretty much need to pay a lot of money and pass all these safety requirements to get on the roster.
Okay.
And then for semi-automatic handguns, like one of the guns that you purchase, a semi-automatic handgun, they pretty much need to be made after the year 2013. Not the actual make, but the design of the gun needs to be from 2013 or before that. The reason for that is the California, pretty much, I believe it was Department of Justice, they dictated that if you're going to bring a new gun on the roster, a new semi-automatic handgun on the roster, it needs to have micro-stamping technology. Okay, I believe those are the words they used.
Okay.
Micro-stamping technology would entail where if you fired the bullet, it would leave an imprint on the bullet that would be able to track the gun specifically to that serial number.
Right.
Okay, that technology does not exist.
But when you see this, I feel like you see a lot of times on like crime shows and stuff where people use a bullet and they can trace it back to a gun.
Yeah. What that would pretty much entail is based on the way the firing pin hits the primer of the cartridge, they can tell what kind of gun it is. Was it a revolver? And maybe they could even tell what specific actual firearm it is. Oh, that was I'm based maybe on the extraction pattern as well. Oh, that was a Glock 17, for an example. Or not even a 17. They can just, it's a Glock 9mm. Okay? That's just one thing they can tell from it. But with micro-stamping technology, they pretty much are saying that they can track, using the imprint from the firing pin, they can track the actual gun's serial number directly to you, which on CSI, it's a fantasy. That's not true.
Look that up. Do you mind, Nick? Microstamping is a process in which a gun imprints a unique microscopic code onto the ammunition it fires. The goal is to enable detectives to collect shell casings at a crime scene, enter the code in a database, and quickly track the firearm to its owner.
Yeah.
The problem is the technology is unreliable and expensive. Each time a gun is fired, it wears slightly, leaving a microstamp unreadable after a short period of normal use. Almost like a regular stamp. If you run out of, like, I guess the ability maybe to like one of those ink pads or something, then you're done. I guess they're trying to make, so this seemed like this seems like a plan that would make great sense, but they just do not have the technology for it yet.
Right, and nor is it practical in the sense of it actually mitigating crime. Where, if you do have microstamping technology, you could tell which firearm specifically it was, right? However, there's certain requirements that consider something a firearm in the United States, okay? It's typically the frame, also the receiver of a gun, right? So if you have a Glock pistol, right, which is a very standard pistol, just the plastic frame is the only part on the gun that actually has a serial number. Everything else is just a metal part. You can order it all online.
Right.
So I can buy a Glock, buy a firing pin online for $10, replace the firing pin, and it would have a different micro stamp.
I see what you're saying.
It's very easy to get rid of something. And what's to stop someone from just grounding it off?
Right.
It would do nothing.
So this is something that theoretically would be great, but in reality it's not really very practical.
Exactly.
And this is a law now that you have to have this?
Yeah, so new handguns from manufacturers to be sold in California, semi-automatic handguns, need to have micro-stamping technology for them to be approved on the roster.
Okay, and the one that I bought is that?
Is a gun that does not have micro-stamping technology because it was being made and sold in California before the year of 2013.
Oh, I see. So it's grandfathered in, kind of.
Kind of. I mean, the gun that you have is brand new.
Right.
No one's used it or anything. It's just that specific model was allowed because they were making and selling that model to California. They were selling that model here in California before the year of 2013.
So of the new gun owners that you're seeing, people that have come to the shop recently, who are they? What do they look like? What are they? I mean, you said it was a lot of Latinos out there.
Mostly.
And is it a lot of gangsters? Is it a lot of females? What is it? Abuelos?
At our all types, man. At our shop, we get a lot of gangsters. Gangsters of all kinds. I mean, I've seen dudes that are borderline white nationalists. Straight up cholos.
Nick got all excited.
Yeah.
Calm down, Nick, man. Sorry.
Just straight just black gangsters, Bloods, Crips, that kind of stuff. And they don't, I mean, a lot of times they don't even hide it.
What about Jews? Do you see any Jews in there?
A few, not too many. I feel like I don't know.
There's a lot of Jewish supremacists now. People that are devout Judaism only type of shit.
Yeah, Zionist,
Yeah,
right. I feel like they have their own way of getting guns. We sell Jewish guns. We got some like stuff from Israel there, which is kind of cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, Israel makes a lot of weapons, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
it's,
mean,
it's a weapon belt over there.
Hell yeah.
Got to.
Technology and weapons, man. Yeah. Well, they're surrounded by their enemies, you know.
Yeah, it's a hot area. It's a good area to have a weapon.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So go ahead. You're seeing a lot of Latinos. You're seeing a lot of Is it a lot of gangbangers? Is it a lot of stepmoms?
Not a lot. You get that occasionally. It's just a lot of just really random people, man. Whether it's like people my age, you know, just first time gun buyers, 21 years old, single women with kids.
And are they expressing fears about the pandemic,
Yes.
about the? Okay.
100%. They're there telling us like, I don't know what to get. I don't know anything about guns. I don't even really want to know anything about guns. I just want to get one.
That was me, really.
Yeah,
kind of. I mean, I knew I wanted a handgun. I looked through some guns and kind of picked out the one that I wanted.
Exactly. But I don't think you were there entirely out of fear, man. A lot of people were there really just like looking around, and they just kind of were freaking me out, to be honest with you, man.
And is there an element where you have to like, if somebody's you determine that they have too much fear, do you still have to sell them a gun?
I wouldn't say I have to, but
because that's a scary person to sell a gun to. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm coming from a place of like, just complete fear, then I could make some poor choices. You know,
100%.
You don't want to fucking shoot a guy and he just had the mail. You know?
Yeah, no, for sure. But that's where it gets tricky, because you also don't want to deprave someone of their Second Amendment right, especially when there's a limited amount of gun stores and it's hard for them to get in. I mean, a lot of people were waiting for 5 hours for service.
Yeah.
And they want to get a gun, and despite the reasons, I mean, out of fear, that's not necessarily a reason where I can take away their constitutional right. That's what I see.
Right. So so there's nothing in it like where you make any sort of like psychological, mental health evaluation of them.
We have the freedom to.
Okay.
We can. And like another thing, like by requirement, if you smell like marijuana, I can't serve you.
Wow.
Literally, and I've had it told. Like, I mean, man, I have some stories of these gangsters that come in all the time, man. Or just anyone. I mean, people that smell like weed, but just like usually people that walk into a gun store.
Some real fucking cholos. I know you're talking about.
They sit in their Infinity, you know, and they're smoking a backwood.
Yeah.
And they're in the parking lot, and they're like, all right, now let's go buy guns.
Now
like,
we're talking Persian.
Reek,
yeah.
You know? Can't do
And what the fuck? And do they a lot of times think they're gonna be able to get it day of?
Oh my! Most people, not most, but a lot of people were getting upset at us because they were like, it's a 10-day waiting period in California. So if you start the background check that day, right? Then 10 days from now, you can come pick it up.
Right. That's what I'm going through right now.
Exactly.
And it just got extended, too. It just got...
As of recent, they've been extended a little bit. The DOJ pretty much sent out a notification to us that they're completely backed up on background checks going through. So even after the 10-day waiting period, the background check might not have cleared yet. So we've had, I mean, this weekend, probably over 40 people come pick up their guns, and we had to deny them that access to pick up their firearm, even if it was after their 10-day waiting period, just due to the fact that they cannot, the DOJ has not cleared their background check yet.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just pending. And I checked it for you because your pickup day was yesterday.
Yeah.
You're going through the same thing. If you came in yesterday to get your firearms, which it would have been after the 10-day waiting period, you would not have been able to.
And now, has that ever happened in your line, like in your time of work?
No one I talked to there has ever seen that. Ever.
And so what do you attribute that to?
Just the sheer amount of people that are buying guns in the United States and California.
So maybe it's good. At least it's like, okay, we have to run some sort of a background check. We're not just filtering all of these people through.
Yeah. I mean, especially in California. I mean, that background check process is California, and there's other states that do backgrounds. There's a national background check system, right? When you fill out paperwork, and that's what you did, right? And that national background check system doesn't necessarily mean a 10-day waiting period. There's a lot of other states where you can buy day of and take it home.
Really?
California is one of the only, not one of the only, but there's a few states that have a waiting period.
Day of you can buy?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Arizona, Utah, you go buy it day of, fill out the paperwork, take it home.
Dude, Arizona, you know that they take a driver's license picture when you're like 19 years old, and then you don't have to get it done again for 50 years. Can you fucking imagine that?
Yeah, I know. Guy's like an old man, man. Let me see your ID. It doesn't even look like him, man. It looks like his kids. Look at the grandkids, man. That's funny.
That's crazy, though, man. Hey there, cool cats and kittens. Carol Baskin here from Big Cat Rescue. Look, did Carol Baskin feed her husband to Los Tigres, papa? Huh? Did she do it? Fuck yeah, she did. We don't know. But what we do know is every man should trim his balls. I want you to take a second and look down. Get your pants off or pretend your pants are off and look down. When was the last time you shaved your junk? You running around here with that dirty Fant trunk out in front of you. You trying to feed your wiener peanuts and drink water through your dick. You're out of your mind. It's been a while since you cleaned your junk, bucko. That's why our sponsors, Manscaped, are dedicated to making sure your jungle gets tamed. That's right. I've often looked at my penis and been like, oh, I can do better than this. Okay? And that's sometimes if you can't grow more dick or anything, you got to get your hair better. Cut your hair to make your dick look better. And you can do that now with Manscaped's redesigned electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineering team has their third generation trimmer called the Lawnmower 3.0. And this thing has skin safe technology. You cannot cut your penis or balls open. That's all we need to say. Okay? Look, when I was growing up, I had to remember using a gas-powered trimmer around my wiener. And you know how that ended. R.I.P. My buddy. They also make charging the lawnmower super easy with its intelligently designed USB convenient charging dock. That's right. You can be doing work, charge your D-trimmer right there on the computer, bang, get in the shower, and cut your dick up. You know what I mean. They got that USB charger dock. You can do your work and then do your junk. And if you're a true Tiger King fan, you can now safely make Tiger King stripes in your pubes. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code THEO at manscaped.com. I know you listen to this every week and you're like, oh, I've heard this ad before. Then use the ad. Quit just listening to it, you delinquent. Do yourself a favor and get the right stuff to take care of your damn penis and nuts, you idiot. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code THEO. Make sure to tame your jungle. I hate to interrupt this episode, but as folks adapt, and that is a word, to this challenging new world, we are all going to be buying more items online than ever before. So if you're an e-commerce seller, are you ready to meet the demands of our new delivery culture? Well, you can be with ShipStation. That's right, ShipStation. When you're selling online, getting a lot of orders, getting them out fast can be tough. Oh, well, I can barely do it. How do you keep track of who gets what? Oh, this is for Anthony and this is for Tanya and more. Which ship carrier should you use? FedEx, UPS, Amazon Fulfillment? Are you getting the best rates? Don't think about all that. Let ShipStation.com do it for you. It's the fastest, easiest, and most affordable way to manage and ship your orders. Just a few clicks and you'll be managing your orders, printing out labels, and getting your product to happy customers. ShipStation makes it easy. Look, if you're selling stuff, if you're getting rid of things, if you're moving inventory, take the pressure off your neck and use ShipStation. It works with all the major carriers, UPS, FedEx, UPS, Amazon Fulfillment. You can compare and choose the best shipping solution for you and your customer. They even offer big discounts on shipping costs. Now, any regular business can access the same shipping discounts that are usually reserved for large Fortune 500 companies. And right now, this past weekend listeners can try ShipStation. Come on, try it for free. It's free to try. For 60 days, when you use the offer code Theo, THEO. Make sure your business is ready to meet the demands of delivery culture. Support this past weekend. Get started at ShipStation.com. Just click on the microphone at the top of the homepage. That's ShipStation.com. Then enter code Theo. ShipStation.com. Make ship happen. But that seems wild because if you do you prefer that there's a waiting period? It seems like there definitely should be because what if I'm just pissed about something?
Right.
What if I am fucking high? What if I'm coked up? What if I'm this or that?
Right.
You know,
That's
I'm all on
the
DMT
fear.
and I want to go fucking, I want to go deep and shoot the devil, Does California have one of the longest ones? Is 10-day one of the
I
longest
believe 10
ones?
day is the longest one. Yeah, I believe we do have the longest one. Not 100% on that, but I'm 99% sure.
Yeah, and California's a pretty liberal state, you know. I mean, certainly Los Angeles area is. And so I was like really shocked when it was hard to get in over at you guys' place. You know, there was like a waiting period to get in, you know. It's just and then they had just made a law or passed some sort of ruling that you guys weren't even going to be allowed to sell guns anymore. Yeah,
the governor, Gavin Newsom, extremely anti-gun, and the sheriff of Los Angeles County at one point both declared that gun stores should be closed down and that they're not essential. That's because they were pretty much seeing the giant rush on gun stores. However, I believe they were flooded with a bunch of lawsuits, like constitutional lawsuits, like, that's, trumping our Second Amendment right. So then they actually kind of just pulled off on it. So in some counties they have stopped them. I know the Turner's location in Oxnard, they were shut down by the police there because by the sheriff there because of their orders for their county. But LA County is not one of those counties. Surprisingly.
Does it worry you like that there's going to be a lot more guns like flooding, like even just driving around and you thinking like, oh shit, now there's a lot more fucktards with guns? Like, do you think about that at all?
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about it. Not much I can do about it, man. That's always been a part of American life, man. There's always been firearms. They've always been here since the
Big Bang Theory. If you think about that, I mean, America started with the world started with
chaos.
Brother. Somebody setting it off,
100%. Yeah, it would have been God just shooting. Turning the universe, man.
Yeah, dude. Somebody just the pin hitting the freaking
firing pin in the primer. There it is.
Boom.
After that, man, it's just chaos from there.
You can't be shocked if somebody else wants to do it.
No. I can't.
If somebody just wants to big bang at somebody fucking running through the yard at night.
And if you ever shot a gun, man, I mean, a lot of people that are there anti-gun have never fired a weapon.
Yeah.
It's exhilarating. It's a lot of fun. It captures your kind of that kind of visceral need for destruction in a way.
Well, I've said this before, and I had a buddy who said that he killed someone.
Yeah.
And he said that he said it was awesome.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not saying I don't condone what he said. And,
oh yeah.
And I'm not saying he should have done it or anything shit like that, but he did. I trust some of his belief. It's not his belief, but I trust his own evaluation of what occurred.
Oh yeah. I got a lot of buddies in the military, man, and they haven't seen any combat yet, and they're just training, and they're all a lot of them are infantrymen, and they're getting into it, but they tell me about it, and they're my age, and all they want to do is go fight. All they want to do is go fight, and I mean I can't say I don't understand it. It's a people my age, young men, for the history of the human race, man, have been wanting to go to war.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something about I was talking about this last week on the podcast that there's something about us that has like a thing of like anarchy that I notice like this pandemic starts to light that fuse a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Like what if we all got to go back to the Wild West days, what if suddenly like the services and the society that we're in, it starts to break down.
Yeah.
I think there are some people who not only would like to have that, a little bit of that Grand Theft Auto type of lifestyle, but then also some people who want to just be prepared for it.
Oh yeah.
Like you don't want to show up, you don't want to show up really late to saving yourself, and being prepared. Because once shit hits the fan, you're not going to be able to get a gun. There won't be gun stores open. You know what I'm saying? When like if things get really bad, like things aren't going to be open. It's not going to be available. And you're not going to be able to go to your neighbor like, hey, give me a gun. They're like, nah, I'm going to shoot you so I can run the building.
Yeah, I mean that's why my whole family lives on one block. You know what I mean? It's like,
that's pretty savage.
It's a lot of firepower right there. Just, centrally located.
Yeah.
But no, man, 100%. I mean, you have a lot of people that kind of have that hunger for chaos. It's just the way it is. When you live, I mean, look at the U.S. today. It's so everything. I mean, it's so complicated. Our lives is all social media and going to work on time and all that. And I feel like people are getting kind of sick of it. And eventually, they just kind of just want that chaos to boil over, man. It just gives them a little bit time of relief.
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh yeah, a lot of human beings that wants some sort of chaos, and then if they don't, at least wants to be prepared for it. at least recognizes that it's in other people. I mean, even if you look back in the Bible, man, which is, I mean, it's a hit or miss book, but if you, like Cain and Abel, they had 4 people in the world and one of them killed the other one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Adam, Eve, Cain, Abel, fucking Abel killed Cain, I think, or one of them. But dude, when you think about that, there's 4 people. 4 people, dude. You think people would be excited? There's finally 4 of us, and one of them's like, nah.
One of them's just like, nah, fuck it.
Fuck,
3.
I'm killing your boy right
Hell
here. Okay,
yeah.
you're like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
Abel murdered Cain.
Yeah, bro. Abel fucking murdered Cain, dog. So that's when you gotta be like, damn, bro.
I read it wrong. You had it right the first time.
Cain murdered Abel?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Because yes, we Cain. I remember seeing those bumper stickers growing up.
Yes, we Cain.
Yeah, like if your brother gets out of line, yes, we Cain.
Yes, we Cain.
But so yeah, I just think there's something in us that makes us want to act out. And so when this shit starts to happen, you get people, it lights that fuse, it lights that limbic part of their brain that's like, how am I going to take care of myself?
Yeah.
How am I going to protect my family?
Definitely, man. And if you think about it, like what time in history in the U.S. captures people's imagination more than anything else is the Wild West.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, you're in the saloon, someone looks at your girl, you shoot them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Someone disagrees that you lost a poker game, shoot them.
Yeah.
You know, you see someone out there, take his stuff, kill his horse. You know what I mean?
Well, the third part I don't like as much. I don't mind
yeah.
the first. The first 2 I could definitely, I would sit on a trial for.
Right,
The third one, I'd be like.
Killing a horse?
The third
Can't
one,
do
I'm like,
that.
I'm not even signing up for this. This guy's guilty.
What if you're hungry, man? You gotta eat that shit.
Well, if you're hungry, man, I think if you're real hungry, dude, Look, I've told you before, I'd eat a neighbor, I'd eat somebody.
Right,
I'm not afraid.
No, for sure.
I've eaten rare shit. I'll have a little more.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm not afraid to go down that, that kind of, palate path. I'm not afraid to fucking eat somebody.
You almost ate Ben, the young Viet.
Yeah, almost bit into a fucking Vietnamese guy at a damn Best Buy. And that was just when I was fasting. So I didn't that was forced starvation. This is, if you're talking about real starvation, bro.
Yeah.
Because you got to think, if shit goes weird, you're in an apartment building.
Right.
Immediately, it's like, okay, things are going to get weird quick. Like, if society started to break down, right? Nobody's been picking up trash.
No.
So you have no trash pickup, right? So everything is going to start to stink. Nobody's, who knows if clean water plants and that sort of stuff are starting to work. Do you have fresh water? Do you have water at home?
Right.
So people are going to be on edge.
Oh, yeah.
On edge.
Oh, yeah.
So suddenly, like, shit in your apartment building is going to start to become like a little bit of, I don't think everybody's like, hey, let's be on the same team and team up together.
No. It's definitely not, man. I mean, I just came back from the Philippines, man. And over there, you can see how people are. They're really community oriented. Everyone kind of sees each other like a big family. Mm-hmm. That's the way I felt when I was over there. But over here, man, it's dog eat dog. That's how I feel. I feel like you'll have a lot of people that are trying to like work together, but Americans could be selfish. They're looking out for themselves. So.
Especially in a city. I think in a city, you're dealing with that. Like, I think if once I got out to like a more of a rural environment or something, and you have a bit of land, you have some space where you can see, okay, if there's people out on the Ponderosa or what's going on, you have animals that are around that you could trust to go out and get a little bit of light intel and show back up at the house. You know what I'm saying, though? Like, you have real...
Recon cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you,
You have a fucking cow that could recon out there and then shake that bell if shit's fucking getting wiry.
Just put a GoPro on them, man. Just tell them to come back. You watch it. Like, oh, I knew those motherfuckers were out there, man. God damn it.
But I'm saying you could send a little shepherd, you could send a little German shepherd out there, or a British shepherd, or anything. You could do whatever you want, man. I'm just, it's, but I don't think I want to be the guy sitting on my porch without a weapon.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't want to be the guy that's unarmed in that situation, right? Yeah. I mean, without a weapon, I don't think anything's going to get that bad. Hopefully not. I mean, things are looking better already.
Right.
But
Agreed.
If shit goes down the drain, you do not want to be the guy that's unarmed. It's like being in prison and you're not like one of those like racial gangs yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's like showing up in prison without a butthole.
Literally, yeah. It's like, I mean, what are you offering them?
Yeah.
If you don't got a butthole, what are you doing?
Right. Well, it's like, how are you gonna when everybody else, you don't want to be the guy without a butthole. Because you're not gonna fucking last very long. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys have weapons? Nick, Gianni, you guys have weapons or no?
I just bought a gun, but my older brother has a gun. My dad has like 6 guns, so...
But your dad doesn't live here, does he?
No. So
okay,
we have
so that's out of the picture. So you have one gun between you and your brother.
Gun, but I bought a shotgun and I bought a 9mm.
Okay.
There it is.
Nick?
I have no guns, but I want to, but it sounds like a hassle. I know it's not that big of a deal. You just have to go twice, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, man.
We'll help you out, brother. We got options.
Word.
Yeah. We got you, man.
And then I wonder if but at a certain point, do you worry that they would shut down the gun stores?
Yeah, I'm not too worried about that. You know, I'm ready to rock and roll. So,
have you had people come to buy a weapon and you knew that they were going to use it for a crime?
Oh, yeah, I got a few good stories like that. You know, like sometimes you get those precarious characters in, you know.
Oh yeah,
and they come in like, hey man, I'm looking for a pocket 9mm. I'm like, oh okay, and we do sell small, you know, concealable handguns. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, let me see that. And then they don't want to know about the specs. They don't give a shit about it. They don't care about anything about the gun. They're just like, oh, yeah, let me see that. And they kind of hold it. And then they just put it in their pocket. I'm like, hey, man, like, can you not put it in your pocket? He's just like, hey, I'm just seeing, like, if it fits. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then, like, I saw a dude one time, he put it in his pocket, and he pulls it out and draws it, like, on the table, right at my chest.
Yeah.
He's just like that. And I'm just like, oh, all right. I mean, we got guns pointed at us all day over there.
Right,
so
I pointed at you on accident a couple times, remember?
Yeah, it's okay, man. We have times where people are pointing shotguns, 12-gauge shotguns right there, eye level, like at the counter.
And the guy's call me the N-word. And you're like, no, I'm not doing it, dude. I'm not doing it, bro. Oh, the guy's like, pretend you work at a bank. And you're like, what do you want me to do?
Oh, dude. Man, when I was like 18, I worked at Big Five, you know, and I was there, and we sell BB guns at Big Five, BB handguns, and they look real, you know. And I remember these two brothers came in, and they came in there, and they're looking, and they're, you know, they smell like weed, and they're like, oh yeah, man, I'm looking for that handgun right there. That shit look real. I'm like, okay. So I show it to him, and they're there. He's just looking at it. He's like, yeah, man, this will do the job. And I'm just like, oh, you guys, like, what are you guys doing with it? And he's just like, oh, nothing, you know. And then, like, as a joke, he points it at his friend in his head. He yells at him, like, in the store. Everyone turns around and looks. He's like, run me them shoes, motherfucker. And he's, like, screaming at his friend. I was like, oh, shit, man. Like, these guys are, like, just use this BB
role-playing kind of.
Oh, yeah. But they're like, oh, yeah, this will work. And they bought it. It was, like, $90, you know.
Damn.
Fake handgun.
So, yeah, you see, so there's people coming in. If you had somebody come in and you knew, have you ever had somebody straight up tell you, like, don't sell me a gun because I'm going to kill somebody?
No, but I mean, we have to ask those questions. Like I asked you, Theo, like, hey man, you ever there's 4 questions that you have to ask, and then you have the whole list, you know. And when they're filling out the paperwork and they're asking if you're a convicted felon, they're like, and like I see people like struggle on it. They're like, what if I was convicted, but it wasn't like a violent felony? And I'm just like, yeah, I can't do that. I just kind of take the paperwork. I'm like, yeah,
felony?
Sorry. Like if you've been convicted of a felony, unless it's been completely like acquitted, you know, unless you've been completely like found non-guilty of the crime, like you haven't been convicted, then if you're a convicted felon, we can't sell you a gun for the rest of your life.
Ever for the rest of your life.
Rest of your life.
Yeah.
Cannot do it.
Yeah, the test was pretty tricky, I remember. Can you bring up that test, Nick?
I could not find it.
Okay.
California FSC test. Firearm safety certificate.
How many did you get wrong, Theo? Do you remember?
I think I got 3
I
wrong.
found this on the web.
He got 3 wrong.
Me too.
27 out of 30. Yeah.
It took me longer than most people to take the test, though, I feel like.
It took you a while, man, but you're making jokes while you were doing it too, man. I remember everyone was laughing when you were taking the test, but you were saying some funny shit.
Well, I was trying to sneakily get information out of people too. I was trying to start a little conversation and then see if somebody would drop a little hint of intel. Because some of the questions were a little bit tough, I felt like. It took me about 40 minutes to take it.
That's probably looking like a study guide. You can take a practice test, like California FSC practice test, and they'll have some of the questions on there. It's funny because people get the same ones wrong all the time. It's always the same questions that they get wrong.
Yeah, it was some of it was tough for me. The age at which you can buy a firearm.
Yeah, it's 21 for long guns and handguns in California. It used to be 18 for long guns, 21 for handguns. They changed that. I believe 2019, January 1st, 2019.
And here's a question right here: is it legal to store a loaded firearm in the premises where children have access to?
No,
no, it's not.
Yeah.
Let's see. Have Theo take it.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
What is not a part of a cartridge or a shotgun shell? I'm gonna go with the choke. What types of sight do the handgun shooters use?
That's a dumb question.
Yeah.
That's a really dumb question.
I would say A. All of the above, I mean D. A sale or transfer of a firearm between 2 private parties must be completed through a licensed firearms dealer only if the buyer and seller do not personally know each other. That is false. It must be completed between a licensed dealer no matter what.
Exactly.
That's the one I got wrong.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
That's the one most people get wrong during the FSC.
So if I want to sell a friend a gun, I want to sell Gianni or Nick a gun, I have to go through a licensed dealer.
Come by to us or any other gun store. Tell them you want to do a private party transfer. They're going to charge you a small fee.
Mm-hmm.
We pretty much get both you guys' information.
Mm-hmm.
The gun is then legally transferred over to the person that you're selling it to. The money doesn't go through us or anything like that. We just collect our small fee. Money is all handled outside of the store. Within 10 days, the buyer can come pick it up, and that's it. Just like a normal process. We just hold on to the gun for 10 days. They come pick it up.
And if I sell it to Gianni just without going through a licensed dealer, then
Felony.
There's felony. Yeah. Wow. Damn.
Yeah.
Is that just in California or is that everywhere?
Some states do not have, there's no need for a background check for private party. So I believe Texas is one of those states. So, I mean, you'll have like videos of people buying guns in like a McDonald's bathroom. You know what I mean? They're like, hey, let's meet up. And then they're selling a goddamn Glock 19.
Who's producing that? Why can't we do that, Nick?
Yeah.
Huh? Probably Segura in them. Generally, it is legal to carry a concealed firearm in public under which of the following circumstances? You are an experienced gun handler and know all the safety rules. You are honorably discharged from the military. You are in an unsafe area. It is legal to carry a firearm in public under which of the following circumstances?
I'm on guard. I'm in
none of the above.
Yeah.
That's none.
I'm in Gardena, bro. I can carry a gun, man. It's cool.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking, man. Yeah, it's hard to get a concealed carry license in California, man. It's pretty difficult. L.A. County, nearly impossible, unless you know somebody.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
The first cartridge loaded into a magazine presses against the... No idea. I would go with magazine spring, but I have no idea.
Oh, it's follower, that one.
The follower?
Yeah, the follower is a little piece of plastic or metal that's in front of the magazine spring that pushes up on the cartridge. That's a dumb question. That's not even on the real FSC.
Yeah, it's not on the test.
Yeah.
But these are some of the questions that are on there. Smokeless powder, black powder, that wasn't on there.
Nah, yeah. I feel like this might be an old version of the test or something, but some of the questions are on there, but...
Yeah.
Do you see any of these that are the actual test? Because I Googled what you...
Yeah, a few of them we went through are on the actual test. The gun hand...
any of these links he's saying.
Oh, I'm not sure. Not sure. I actually I owned about more than 10 guns without ever taking the FSC test. Because before, I mean, you can buy guns if you have a hunting license. They just played with the law a little bit now, but like you can buy long guns at 18 still now if you have a hunting license. So I was 18. I mean, I got a hunting license when I was like 12, right? But so when I turned 18 with my hunting license, I was able to buy a bunch of long guns. So that's what I did. So I never even took that test until I actually started working there.
Wow.
Yeah, no idea.
So that's just because that's a new new law. You have to take that test.
That test also, when you're 21, you can buy a handgun. And that's before, and the hunting license does not apply to handguns.
Oh, I see. What
Weirdly enough, but so I had to, for me to buy a handgun, I had to take that FSC test, and then plus, I've graded 20 of them before I ever took the test.
Do you think that you could shoot somebody?
Yeah, I think I can. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
I mean, I grew up hunting, man, and that's.
Where would you shoot them?
Where would I shoot somebody?
Yeah.
Well, it depends, man.
Be honest, brother.
Well, I'll be honest with you, man. If you're in a situation where you have to pull out a firearm and you're going to use it on somebody, you're shooting to kill.
Right.
You're not going to shoot him in the leg. But if you're shooting someone in the leg, you're in a situation where you have the intention to injure them, where you're trying to stop one of their behaviors by injury.
Right.
And especially in California and most states, when you're actually going to use a firearm on somebody and you're not law enforcement, you're pulling out that gun. That gun is coming out because your life is currently your life will be taken if you don't use this.
Right.
Or somebody in your house or someone, your family member,
Parent, stepdad.
they're going to stepdad,
Or
uncle.
somebody.
No, you're exactly, yeah. Somebody in that house or somebody where you are is going to die or going to be grievously injured if you do not use this firearm. So if you're using that gun, you're using it to put an immediate end to the fight. And you have videos, all types of videos of people getting shot 15 times and they're still doing what they're doing because none of the shots are lethal. Well, they might be lethal eventually, but they're not immediately debilitating.
Yeah.
You got to turn the lights off if you're going to shoot. So you're talking here or here. That's it. That's where you would shoot.
I'd rather shoot somebody in the chest, I think, because I don't want to shoot somebody in the face, because I don't want to look at them and their faces all fucked up.
Oh, yeah. And then it's just the back end's blown out. Yeah, you don't want to see that. Yeah.
And do you have you ever seen anyone shoot somebody else?
Okay, well, not like, I've never seen like a okay, technically yes, but not in a way where it was like a real lethal wound. I've technically been shot right? Many times. I go hunting, right? I mostly hunt birds because Southern California is the biggest kind of hunting season there is, dove hunting. And if you're in these busy fields going dove hunting, there's people on the other side of the field and they're shooting doves, and all those pellets are flying in the air and they land on you. Like one time my dad shot me, like pretty close. It stung like a motherfucker, but it was a shotgun shooting tiny little bird shot. But I was a good, 50 yards away. So it stung like a motherfucker, but hey man, accidents happen, especially when you're, whipping birds flying around. So
especially when you're aiming at your fucking son, I bet.
Yeah, I kind of pissed him off that day, man. Yeah, so I was thinking he kind of just wanted to punish me a little bit. I was kind of at the age where he can't really smack me around anymore.
Oh yeah.
So he's just like, he's just like, oh, I saw a quail over there.
That old.
I didn't see that
accident.
fucking quail, but yeah, I mean.
He gets you a jacket that has 4 quails on the back of it.
Yeah, exactly, dude. No orange on me, man. He's shooting through the bush. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, it sucks, but if you go dove hunting in a busy field, you will get shot with a shotgun.
Yeah.
I promise you will.
I like that.
I don't have any scars from it, but technically speaking, yeah, I've been hit with a projectile from a firearm, yes.
Yeah. Do you think that a lot of the people you've been selling guns to in this recent surge of gun sales has been people that are more on the liberal side of politics? Yeah,
I would say yeah. A lot of people that I talked to were admittingly, and that's the thing, man. I'm not big on that word liberal because in the
maybe that's not the right word.
No, it's all right. Just in the classical sense, liberal means like, oh, you believe in the freedom of the individual,
right,
which would be pro-gun. So I mean, like
or far or left leaning. I would say leftist.
For sure, definitely a lot of that. A lot of people admittingly, and you can kind of just tell, just by the way they look and the way they act, the way they dress, you can kind of figure it out. Same thing with conservatives. You can kind of just point them out.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. But a lot of them admittingly like, oh, I never thought I'd be buying a gun. I never thought I'd be ever doing something like this, but here I am. And a lot of them were like upset with themselves. Like a lot of times like, oh, first time gun buyer. And I was trying to make conversation because we're doing paperwork. You excited? They're like, nope. And I'm like, oh, why are you here, man? And they're like, I don't even want a gun, man, but I feel like I need one.
Wow.
And that's what a lot of people were saying. A lot of people were saying that.
Yeah, it's interesting, man, because I think that's even like how I felt a little bit. Like I felt like I wanted to kind of have one for a little bit, but this was definitely just the fear of the uncertainty of what's going to go on or what could go on.
Broke the camel's back, huh?
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah, I totally understand. I resonate with that. I get it. But that was most people that were buying guns in this big surge, especially here in California. Yeah. New gun buyers. Definitely.
First time,
brand new. Never shot a gun before.
How long do you think, so this 10 days been a little long, how long do you think that this thing's gonna, you think it'll be another 10 days, do you think?
Nah, they usually clear it up within 24 to 48 hours after the 10 days.
Yeah.
But people get impatient.
Yeah.
I mean, I had people, like, when the big rush, yell at me because they didn't know it was a 10-day waiting period. So they're buying the gun. They think they can take it home the same day. And I'll sell them the gun. I'll go through the whole paperwork, and then I'll tell them, like, oh, yeah, so here's your pickup date. And they're like, what? I need to get the gun now. I'm like, yeah, well, okay, I can't do that, man. It's 10-day waiting period here in California. 10 days? Like, I had people like, there's not going to be a fucking city in 10 days, man. I need this gun right now.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I heard a few people say that.
Kind of like in Ozark. Have you watched Ozark or no?
I watched first season, man.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those shows that I feel like it's like good until you realize it's not any fucking good. But in the second season, they try to get a baby, and they try to get it. There's like a 10-day waiting period, and the guy's like, no, we need this baby right now, dude.
What could you need a baby for an emergency, man?
Fucking, it's Ozark,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah,
Always
no.
up to some fucking.
They got to guard. I need this baby to guard my house.
Yeah, basically. Yeah,
dude.
It really kind of did. It was
really.
Like, yeah, it was kind of a part of a weird trade off or some shit.
Oh yeah, I'll give you a baby if you launder this money for me, man. Like, hey man, I'll give you $1 million, but give me your fucking baby, man.
I mean, yeah, you basically just you listed all the plots.
It's like buying a tiger.
Yeah, you listed all the plots of season 2. Any other questions, guys? Something you guys are thinking about?
Are there any people recently you're like, they shouldn't have a gun, but you?
Yeah. I would say there's some people I feel like, not that they shouldn't have one, but I'm like, they should really, work on it if they're gonna buy a gun. Like they should really work on their skills and their capability of manipulating the firearm before they really get this gun. So I always tell them I highly recommend training. Highly recommend when you get the firearm, keep the ammunition away from it and just learn how the gun works. Watch YouTube. It's a huge resource for firearms. If you watch somewhere on anything on the internet like that, you can learn a lot just from there. That's where I learned a lot of the information I have about firearms. I learned through the internet, or reading books.
Look, out the gate, I'm coming at you 100. 100. A lot of people don't have that junk in the front trunk when they want to. They can't get erection. Sometimes you'll meet a friend, they can't get erection. You say, what you doing, buddy? And they won't tell you. And that's because they have shame about erection. Well, this episode is brought to you by Blue Chew. Remember the days when you were always ready to go? When your dick was like just a big, fat, soft knife? Now you can increase your performance and get extra confidence in bed. That's right. Listen up. BlueChew.com. That's blue like the color blue. Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. So don't be looking for these expensive Gucci, Louis, all of this for your wiener. Get that hard working, get that Babe Henry, that Blue Ox, Paul Bunyan. You can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach. You just had a half a pound of ravioli, so what? Throw that dick upper on top and go to work. Since they're chewable, they work up to twice as fast as a pill. And you can lie to people, tell them you're having a gum or something. See, I'm having a gum, I'm having a gobstopper. Blue Chew is prescribed online by licensed physicians. So you don't have to go to the doctor's office or wait in line at the pharmacy and pretend you're getting something else. Oh, this is for my cousin. That ain't for you. That ain't for your cousin. That's for your wiener, boy. It ships right to your door in discreet packaging. And right now, you can support this past weekend and stay erect at the same time. I mean, who are we kidding? Great idea. We've got a special deal. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first shipment for free when you use our special promo code THEO. Just pay the $5 shipping. That's right, BlueChew.com, promo code Theo to try it free. Blue Chew, it's the better, cheaper, faster choice. And we thank them for sponsoring the podcast, and you go out and support them. Thank you. They also have, you work at a gunsmithing place?
Yeah, I've been there longer than the gun shop. Yes,
okay.
Sir.
And what is that when you talk about gunsmithing? What is that?
So gunsmithing pretty much entails repairs, modifications, custom builds. It could be even little things. Mounting a scope onto a rifle, cleaning guns. So we do all of that. I'm really I really like old guns, military surplus stuff. So whenever we get old guns in there, that's like really my thing. But
like Sea War type shit, Civil War.
Oh well, yeah, not too much Civil War. I mean, I like Confederate stuff because it's got a richer history in terms of firearm stuff, but and they had less of a manufacturing base back in the Civil War. But a lot of World War II pieces, military surplus stuff, some World War I stuff, which I really like. Just old hunting rifles that are out of production are just cool in general.
So the two guns that I got, one is a Beretta. It's a 9mm, right?
Yeah, it's a Beretta M9.
And you said it was like one of the most It was issued for law enforcement until when? 2018.
Huge in law enforcement for a long time, still is. It was issued to the military. So
okay.
U.S. Army, Marine Corps, the Navy as well, Air Force, pretty much the entire aspect of the U.S. military used the Beretta M9. First manufactured in Italy, but the one you guys made in the U.S.
Hell yeah.
That's the best way to go. All metal, all steel frame, all steel slide, single double action. Yeah, I mean it's pretty much it's the Bruce Willis of guns.
I like that, man. And single double action means that
when you pull the
trigger,
the hammer's down, it's a long, heavy trigger pull because that trigger, mechanically speaking, has to pull that hammer back and then drop it. After the gun fires and the slide works back and then forward again, that's automatically going to push the hammer to the rear. So now it's just a short, easy, light trigger pull just to drop that hammer, and that makes the gun a lot easier to shoot.
Yeah.
So
and this is really your basic man's gun.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
You get some men that come in and their arms are almost too weak to hold up a gun, and and you still have to sell them a gun.
Yeah, I mean, if they want a specific gun, then they got it. I mean, I remember I had a while ago. And for the whole rush, I had like a 85-year-old African American woman, and she was with a cane, just frail. Mm-hmm. And she came and she's like, "Young man, I'm looking for a double barrel shotgun."
Damn.
I was like, "Yeah, okay, we got double barrel shotguns." I put one in her hands, and she's like, "Oh, it's too heavy. You got something else?" Like it was like, yeah. So I actually got her a little Ruger like a LCR. It's a polymer frame revolver, super lightweight. She was able to handle it, but there's a lot of misconceptions around guns, you know, but most people's basis of gun knowledge is going to come from the media. It's going to come from movies, video games, TV shows, and they are notoriously bad at giving out accurate information about firearms. Notoriously bad.
Have you had people come in and say, I want the gun that's in this game?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep. Kids that are just turning 21. What? They're like, hey, what's that on the wall? I'm like, oh, that's a Chris Vector. You know, it's a sweet, decked out looking little submachine gun thing. It's not an actual machine gun. It's a carbine. It's semi-automatic because we're not getting. Yeah, there you go.
That Chris Vector.
Yeah.
Let's see that
and it's like, oh yeah, man, I used to run that thing in Call of Duty, man. I used to run that thing in Modern Warfare 2.
Wow.
All types of or just like, I mean, I had a dude come in there, didn't know anything about guns. He was a rich guy, you know. He came up in a Porsche. He was like, I'm looking for the revolver that Dirty Harry used.
Wow.
In Dirty Harry. I'm like, all right, like the one like Clint Eastwood used. And he's like, yeah, that's the one. I'm like, all right, it's a Smith & Wesson Model 29. And I hand it to him, but we actually had one. They still make them in commercial production. There you go, 44 Magnum. And he was like, yeah, I'll take it. Didn't want to know anything about the gun. Just wanted it because it was in Dirty Harry. So, yeah, that's it.
So it's just amazing to me that someone sees it in a video game or something like, oh, now I got to have this.
Yeah, they just want it.
Especially if it's a game from like Grand Theft Auto, because you're driving around with that.
Yeah, on your lap, man, just shooting motherfuckers. Yeah, that's just how it is.
Do you have you ever sold a gun that was used in a crime or murder?
I wouldn't know. We do get like police trade-in guns, and it's not unheard of for police departments to pick up guns. This is, I mean, all around the country. They pick up guns in crimes, and then they pretty much clear the crime out, but they still have the firearm that they confiscated off somebody, and then they'll resell it to gun stores, and the gun stores will sell it used for a cheap price. It's really, really popular. So there's plenty of guns out there that have. I'm sure they have some bodies on them. Like I got an old SKS, right? I've seen it
in I think in Call of Duty.
An SKS?
I think so.
I don't know, man. It was a rifle used in the Vietnam War a lot. The one I have was manufactured in China, but it's a cool rifle.
Dang, yeah.
Yeah, and it's an awesome rifle. It's the first gun I ever bought, man. When I turned 18, I bought that thing. And the one I got was a Vietnam bringback. So some veteran was in Vietnam, probably smoked some Vietnamese dude, had an SKS, and then took it home when he came back from the war.
Dang.
So who knows what that rifle has seen? Yeah. And I mean, the one I got was made in 1953, so it's definitely seen something. That
was some killing years back then.
It's older than my pops. Oh yeah, man. I mean, that thing was probably like, early stage of Vietnam War. And they were used fighting. I mean, there's originally a Russian gun. The gun was invented by a Russian inventor, Simonov. But then, how the Russians are, they're communists in the Soviet Union. So all of their designs, after they kind of were like declared antiquated, they kind of just spread it around the socialist united world. And so China pretty much got the manufacturing rights to make these, and the Chinese loved them, and they made them in the millions. There's millions of these things around the world right now. Oh. You have pictures of African tribesmen.
Yep, you see them a lot with those guns.
Extended, earlobes, the whole thing, and they're not even wearing Western clothing, and they have an old Chinese SKS over their shoulder. That's their gun.
That's wild, huh?
Crazy.
Isn't it interesting? Like so much of that of the firearms trade that goes on, it's unbelievable.
I mean, whatever you think is going on commercially in the U.S., just think under the table internationally.
Yeah.
Insane. I mean, you have countries that you wouldn't even expect, like HK in Germany, massive firearms producer. They sold, I think like 20,000 G3 rifles to Saudi Arabia, and then all of a sudden they found a bunch of these rifles in the hands of ISIS in Syria, or they found them in these militia groups, Al-Nusra in Syria, and they have all these G3 rifles that were just sent to Saudi Arabia. So there's actually like a lot of international organizations that kind of track where these things show up. I mean, there's pictures of like the conflict in Syria, the civil war, where they're driving a Panzer IV from World War II, a German tank. It's like, where the fuck did they get that shit? That thing weighs 25 tons. Where the fuck did they get that?
Dude, there's pictures of fucking ISIS driving old Ford Tauruses as well, dude.
Oh yeah.
But I'm just saying, there's such like a secondary market that it's so funny, like how on the surface would be like, no guns, and then if you go and look at how America makes money, one of the ways is through selling firearms to different countries. It's crazy.
Firearms is a fraction of it. If you think about the military-industrial complex, we're talking weapon systems. I mean, fighter jets, missiles, things that one single F-35, right, Lightning II, that are pretty much our newest 5th generation multi-role jet. I mean, they're worth fucking billions of dollars. Just the whole program itself, and they're sent and they're sold to all these countries in NATO, and I mean, all these weapon systems just end up in the hands of all types of people. It's the weapons trade, not just small arms, not just machine guns and rifles,
software
and pistols.
too, even
Everything. Intercontinental ballistic missiles, old submarines, ships, everything. The defense industry internationally and even under the table is fucking monumental. Monumental.
Crazy, huh?
Do you think any guns are unnecessary, like for normal people to have, or are you just like, I think everybody should have everything? Everyone should be a right. What do you think?
Yeah, that's tough. Like you have in certain states and stuff, given certain licensing, which apparently isn't terribly hard to get, you can get like an old Soviet artillery gun, and there's private owners that own tanks with live guns in them, 75 millimeter cannons, machine guns. I don't think anyone should be barred from owning those things, but I understand the licensing required to have something destructive. That's what the ATF calls certain things. There's destructive devices, quote unquote. And these firearms, I mean, not even firearms, but you have weapons that are devastating. And I can understand the logic of like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't give, like inner city crime gangs RPGs, right?
right.
However, I think if you're a law-abiding owner and you can use those things responsibly, I don't think there should be limitations on what you can get, especially because it's a slippery slope. I mean, you can see it here in California.
Right, but then also like imagine if the guy who like shoots up the Las Vegas,
Right.
if that guy had an RPG, it'd be insane.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I suppose. I mean, it would fire a rocket, right? I mean, he did plenty of damage with a AR-15 anyway. Well, supposedly an AR-15. Who knows? I don't know what he used. I think a lot of AR-15s is what they say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I understand the logic. I don't necessarily agree with it. It's kind of tricky. It's just really tricky. I don't know how I feel about it.
Because so in addition to the Beretta, what is the other piece of gun that I bought?
You bought an AR-15 lower receiver.
Yep.
So what I mentioned earlier is that
That's
the
what
only
I got. Told you motherfuckers, bro. Johnny, little bastard.
the only serialized part of that, yeah, there you go. That's called a stripped lower.
That's what I got.
So that's considered a firearm. It's a piece of aluminum with holes in it. Okay, that's a gun. That's a gun.
Right, that's considered a gun. So I had to buy this piece in order to be able to have this.
Yeah, and the one you got costed you about $40.
And then now I can have the rest of it built.
All the other parts, internal parts kits, trigger group, buffer tube, the upper receiver, the barrel, everything you need on that gun, you can order it online and have it delivered to your house. Given you have a little bit of know-how and some simple tools, we'll throw it together for you, and you'll have an AR-15. It's not like a loophole.
And what can I do with an AR-15?
Shoot stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, they're fucking sick, man. They're AR-15s are probably the coolest rifles you can get your hands on, in my opinion, in the United States. They're kind of like it's like the Ford F-150 of guns. Everyone's got one, right? Especially in the country, but.
Except for Nick.
Yeah, man, they're the most popular rifle in the United States. Semi-automatic, shoots a very controllable, easy to use cartridge. AR-15s have been used.
How many shoots can I do at once with this?
Depends on the size of the magazine you have inside of the gun, but swapping a magazine is not very hard. So a standard capacity magazine throughout the country is 30 rounds. That's what like the military uses on their ARs. California, the limit's 10 rounds per magazine. But I mean, they make 60-round drum magazines, 100-round drum magazines for them.
I'll probably stick with 30 or 60.
Right. Well, you'll get 10.
Yeah, I'll do 10.
Yeah. California, man.
Yeah, California is.
Yeah, so you got 10.
Yeah.
Same thing in your pistol. Your pistol's supposed to hold, 15 rounds in the magazine?
California, you get 10.
10.
That's the rule.
That's the rule. 10 rounds limit for whatever gun in California.
I like that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
If you can't get it done in 10, you deserve to die, I think.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying, though? Like, if you can't get it done in 10 shots, you fucking, you know what I'm saying? You fucking shot the guy's wife. You fucking killed 2 animals. You fucking blew out your fucking bedroom wall.
Never knocked out every street light on your block, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At that point, you need to go. You're really the...
At that point, it's your turn.
Yeah. You're the one really causing the most trouble at that point.
Right. I just don't like it because I don't like the government telling me how many rounds they think is enough.
Right.
The police officers don't need to follow that rule. The military doesn't have to. I mean, I can go to Nevada. You drive 5 hours away, and they're 200 round belt fed fucking machine guns over there.
You can have that there.
Yeah, I mean, with a machine gun, yeah, given the licensing.
Wow.
Yeah, but the magazine capacity is not limited in most states. I believe California, I believe Massachusetts, New York, a few other states have magazine capacity limits. Colorado, I think, too.
See, it's funny because I believe that some semi-automatic weapons people shouldn't have. You know, I believe that people shouldn't be able to just rattle off 700 rounds.
Right.
But then here I am buying a semi-automatic weapon.
You're buying 2 semi-automatic weapons.
Yeah,
and one's a quite capable rifle, and the other one's a very well loved and well used semi-automatic pistol.
Jesus Christ, I mean, dude.
Nah, man, they're cool, man. I mean, once they're all done, I'm taking you out and we're going to the range.
All right, man.
Take you guys too, man. It'll be a good time.
I just don't want to fucking shoot somebody or myself, dude.
Nah, man, come on, dude. We're not gonna shoot anybody. We'll be fine.
Well, no, are you going on a separate day than Theo?
Oh yeah, no, we'll go the next day, man. Don't worry. We'll leave Theo out there. We'll just get him the next day, man. He'll be fine. Don't worry.
Do you have a feeling in your life that you'll ever shoot someone?
I pray to God that I fucking don't. Do I have a feeling I would? I don't think
really,
so.
what does your gut tell you?
What does my gut tell me that I might? Damn, man. Well, I would say, oh, fuck, that's tricky. Given the situation now, I would say it's not terribly unlikely. I knew this old dude, and he shot some people that broke into his house, and he was telling me about it. He said it was fucking terrible, but I really hope I don't want to. But no, I don't think I will, man. I don't think I live in a fairly secure complex. I don't think anyone's. The only situation I see myself doing that is like someone trying to kill me in my house, and that's pretty unlikely.
Yeah.
So I don't think so. But I mean, I like guns I like recreational shooting. Like, it's one of my favorite hobbies in the world. Mm-hmm. I go hunting. I love it, man. I love it. I shoot archery too. It's awesome. But
yeah, I want to get into some more of these types of things. You know, that's why I'm excited to get out to the range. I mean, I did notice immediately whenever you started to teach me, even in the store, about how to load the gun, unload the gun, like the steps to go through. By the end of that, I felt 5 times more confident, even just picking the gun up, and like, I just felt a lot more like, okay, now I have some education that goes along with this thing. It's not just a errant thing that could just kill me at any moment. Like, now I understand, okay, this is how it behaves. This is how I need to use it. These are the protocols I need to go through.
Exactly.
So it was really interesting to me just to notice how immediately when I had that education, it really adjusted the way that that the gun felt to me.
It makes a world of difference, man. People talk about accidental shootings and then how dangerous guns can be in the home. But if you have the experience and the knowledge and the know-how and the confidence to utilize that firearm confidently, there's no chance of it injuring you or anyone else. Because if you followed all the proper protocols, it's an inanimate object just like anything else. It's gonna hurt you as much as this glass bottle will. It makes no difference. It's just an object. The only thing that gives it the capability of being lethal is somebody either making a mistake or someone using it with malintention. That's it.
Do you feel like if as the fear of the pandemic and stuff goes away, that you'll see a resurgence of people selling their guns back?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of people are just buying them and they don't know what the hell they're going to do with them. And I think as soon as they have the opportunity to get rid of it, I think the used gun market after all this is over is going to be booming. So. And
where does the used gun market send guns to? So gun
stores. Gun stores. Oh, they'll sell it. I mean, there's a lot of forums online where they're, oh, hey, I'm selling this gun. We'll do a private party. Meet at this gun store. They do the private party, and that's it. A lot of times people are like, hey, I just want to get rid of the gun. I don't care about finding someone willing to buy it. So they sell it to gun stores, and then the gun stores will resell them for profit.
Have you ever sold a gun to a guy with like teardrop tattoos by his eye or no?
Yep. I have, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if they pass the background check, who am I to say that they can't own the gun?
Right.
Bottom
you don't
line.
really have that jurisdiction.
No, I don't. Well, I have the ability to choose who I sell a gun to. Right. I can say, no, I'm not going to sell you a gun. But I mean, I'm not trying to cause those issues. I'm not going to try to be stuck up. And that kind of ability, that kind of mindset can lead to people being, using that to pretty much be racist or something, right? If they see someone, let's say I don't like Asian people, right? Oh, I'm not going to sell any Asian people a gun. That's crazy, man.
Right.
That's crazy.
That's
if they have the ability to buy a gun legally,
Right,
Who
that's
am I
not
to
your
say-
responsibility.
Hell no.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah, you're just working at a place that sells guns.
Yeah.
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 But like you said, I mean, if somebody's high, you cannot sell them a gun.
Yeah, that comes down to, that just comes down to the law. If I can literally smell marijuana, I can get in trouble for selling them or even serving them or even putting a gun in their hands if they smell like marijuana, which I think is crazy, but that's just the rules.
Have you ever had a person where you're like, you had to ask them, like, are you planning on killing somebody with this gun?
Nah, I never had to do that.
Would you do it if you felt compelled to do it?
Oh yeah. I'm pretty outspoken at the store. You have a lot of people that are kind of shy that work there, but yeah, I mean, I like to crack jokes there and stuff. It's a gun store, man. Like, how seriously can you take your job? I'm having a good time. So yeah, I've
It was
said
awesome
some
in
funny
there.
stuff.
I felt way more machismo once I got in there. They got all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Little buckets you could sit on. They got those all type of fishing stuff, nets you could catch stuff. They had gloves for all type of different things you could do with gloves.
I mean, we have a whole fishing
Guns.
section.
It was
all
good.
types of fun stuff. Yeah, you ever been to Bass Pro Shops?
Yeah.
That's the
sister lives
mecca right
behind one
there,
of
man.
them.
That's the fucking place,
they're
dude.
nice. Yeah, they're real nice.
You can do whatever you want there.
Fellas,
I'm good. That was
Gianni
super
wants to
informative.
talk. I know Gianni.
No, I just have one more. This might be a crazy question. But
sure.
has anyone ever tried to rob your store, or have you ever heard of anyone trying to rob a gun store?
I've asked that question to my manager, and apparently our location was robbed a long time ago. Due to just like there's a lot of gun stores, especially more like not family oriented, but like smaller businesses where the people in there are armed, and most of those places don't get hit. Turner's is a corporation, and due to I guess insurance purposes, they don't want us to be armed, so we're not armed in the store.
Wow, that was gonna be my last question.
Yeah, well, we're not armed in the store at all over there. So
How
it is
quickly
possible.
could you reach for an arm, though?
We can get a gun, but I mean, we don't have loaded magazines or ammunition on us, nor would we terribly be inclined to retaliate, considering if someone's in there ready to rob a gun store, they probably don't give a fuck, and they probably got guns ready to rock and roll. So if we're in a position where we're already at a deficit, just due to the fact that we don't have loaded weapons on us, retaliation is probably not the best idea.
What would you do then?
Run. Get the fuck out of there.
Well, why would someone rob a gun store for a gun if they have a gun?
Well, they have a gun, but then they can just go in there and steal 100 guns.
More guns.
Yeah, they fucking break in the glass, and if they steal a bunch of guns, then fuck, man. That's a lot of money.
Is there a method of that microstamping you think that could work? Because some of it does seem a little bit archaic when you think about it. That you have this gun, you have this bullet, that there isn't a way to definitely track and know what's going on. Just because we have so much technology now.
Right. I can see microstamping maybe working in the way where you'll have the ability to track the gun. However, practically speaking, that would significantly increase the price of the firearm.
Right.
Okay. And it's very easily worked around. It's really easy to scratch out the serial number of a gun. Right. It's really easy to scratch out something like microstamping. Just go with a
right. Yeah, and it
pick
even says that the
get rid of it.
microstamping wears out. That it's not.
It just wears out with use.
Right.
So imagine if I intentionally try to get rid of it, or if I just replace the part that has the microstamping on it.
Right.
Just buy a replacement firing pin.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what the technology is that will
Allow you to.
that will solve the problem, that will get it done.
Yeah.
Microstamping seems like it's like an attempt at that.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. Do you feel like everyone should be able to own a gun?
Yeah, unless you're mentally incompetent or a hardened criminal, I would say yes. I would say yeah. Everyone should have the ability to, unless you're, just completely irresponsible. Yeah, it's. I don't necessarily see it as a right that's given to us. It's a right that a human being should have inherently. I'm not a religious guy. People say like, oh, these rights are God given.
Right.
I'm not religious at all, but I feel like, I believe people.
Yeah, God never had a gun, really.
Yeah, I feel like people should have inherent rights, man. Like if you're just a human being, you have you have freedom of speech. You're allowed to express yourself, right?
Right.
You're allowed to vote politically. You're allowed to, not be enslaved, right? You're just a free human being. You should be able to have a tool to protect your life and the life of people around you.
Yeah.
So I think unless you're completely mentally incompetent or a hardened, dangerous criminal, then yeah, everyone should have the right to own a gun.
We have a world that has guns in it. Mm-hmm. Do you wish that we had a world that somebody had just never invented guns?
And since I like guns so much, no.
Yeah.
However, admittingly, things would be, I would say, less lethal if there was no guns. But for a much longer period than guns have ever existed, there's still been massive war and conflict coming out to the classical era.
Oh, people love killing each other.
Exactly. It doesn't matter if you got a gun or not.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I mean, they would ride horses with, lances on them and go and stab people to death.
Yeah.
Thousands would die in single battles. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, people love to kill each other. They have, even the mayor of Baltimore announced that had to ask people to stop killing each other so they could save the hospitals for COVID patients, for COVID.
Yeah. Just please stop shooting people.
Yeah. That's really what he said. So yeah, people love to Baltimore mayor begs residents to stop shooting each other so hospital beds can be used for coronavirus patients. So that's real shit.
I also think it was who came out. I think it was the mayor of Dallas. He was saying that like criminals chill. Criminals take it easy because like we all just want to go home at the end of the day. So just relax for now. I thought it was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, just take a break, criminals. Actually, before this, I was having Easter brunch with a friend of mine. His stepfather is a California highway patrolman. He's been at this for like 30 years.
Yeah.
Brendan's stepdad, actually. And he was telling me that crime is down except for auto theft. Auto theft is the only crime that's up.
That makes sense. A lot more cars just parked now.
Yeah.
Yeah, ready to go.
And I guess if you're a burglar, you got to do something. You still got to work, and you do car. Now you
still
do
need
cars.
money, man. If you're living that life,
You got to get out there.
Yeah, for
well,
sure.
man, it was interesting. Yeah, I just found it so interesting, Nico, that because I came in and you just knew so much about weapons, and I was like, man, this is kind of fascinating. And I was like everything. I was excited to be buying a gun. I was scared to be buying a gun, kind of.
Yeah.
I was kind of glad I finally felt like at least confident and adult enough within myself to be like, okay, I can have a gun in my house,
right? And
I'm not gonna shoot a buddy or something for fun. You do anything crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then you said, man, there's just so many people buying guns right now, and it was just really interesting to me.
Yeah.
In a state that, a lot of times you hear a lot of people like, no guns.
Yeah.
And then this type of, we get into this core of it, and everybody's gunning out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just the numbers are mind-blowing. There's going to be a lot more guns out there.
Yeah.
Just get ready for it. Bottom line.
Do you sell a lot of Kevlar and stuff like that with them or often or no?
No, we don't sell any body armor there. We do have like some plate carriers that we sell there that allow you to insert like plate armor inside of the vest, but we're not a armor retailer. I don't really know if that's up for private sale in California. I'm not entirely sure. But
and what about flares, nades, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I wish we sold grenades, man. That'd be sick, but no, we don't. Explosives, not gonna happen. That'd be sweet though, man. We actually talked about grenades when you came in. I remember that. That was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, we did, man.
No flares. Oh yeah, grenades. Grenades are cool, man. I was in Cambodia, and I was with my cousin.
Oh,
and
you
my
could
brother.
throw a fucking grenade over there. I bet.
Oh yeah. They had like they were
Yeah.
advertising, man. We were in this little tiny village called Kokong. It's on this river by the Thai border. And they were there, and you guys were asking us like, oh yeah, but they saw our backpacks, some kind of like military style backpacks. No one's in the military who I'm with, but they were like, oh yeah, you like guns, and we're like, yeah, we like guns. And they're like, you go, like, come on, we have machine gun, we have RPG. And I'm like, let's go shoot. And we didn't end up doing it. I kind of regret that. I kind of wish that we did. But they were like, "Oh yeah, you can throw grenades and everything."
Damn.
Yeah. But dude, Cambodia had a massive, genocide. They had a civil war.
Oh, so there's guns. Yeah, shit's just sitting around.
Yeah, they got it everywhere, man.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Cambos will fucking shoot anything, dude.
Oh,
how about this, bro? You pull up grenade detonation on YouTube. People are shocked always when they see this. People think nades go big. They really don't go that big.
Yeah.
A basic nade don't really fucking do that much.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, man. It's just really a pop, man. Like a lot of people see grenades in movies. They see an action movie and they throw a grenade. It's a giant fireball, man. It just blows up. But it's really a pretty small amount of explosives.
Not that one. Not that one. That one takes too long. I've watched that one before.
They're not terribly lethal. I mean, well, they're very lethal, but they're not like massive explosions.
Hand grenade compilation?
Okay, let's try that.
Yeah, check it out. That's some Kurdistan shit, man.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, you got to throw it further than that. That dude threw it 4 feet. What a freak.
That guy sucks, man. There's Cambodia for you, man.
So we have to run back.
Wow.
That's cool.
You know, it used to be 8 seconds on a grenade. I believe now it's 4 seconds.
Oh yeah, did they?
Because people, it was too much time. Yeah. The early ones. I want to say it was during like the French War or something.
They would throw them back, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so interesting how they could make it, you know, like the time like that. Like, how do they even build that? I don't understand.
Yeah, it is really interesting. Once you pull that pin.
Yeah. The first like really widespread used grenades.
Here's a guy,
War.
fucking white dude using it. Sorry to interrupt you.
That-
there. I
no,
gotta
you're
see
good,
that,
man.
though.
Is that Danny McBride?
That's what it would have. Those guys are probably in Cambodia, man.
That guy threw it left-handed. He's obviously right-handed. Do not do that. That bitch. But look how small that is. It's really smaller than you think.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just a little blip.
Yeah, but in terms of the timing, like the first grenades that were really used widely was in World War One. Man, it was called the Mills bomb. The British used them, and they had an internal fuse that would kind of burn inside the grenade, and that would make it go off. So you would pull the pin, a safety pin, and then you would throw it, and there's like a little hinge. Right, that's how most grenades use.
What is it called? Let's look it up.
A Mills bomb.
Mills bomb?
Yeah. It was like the first like widely used grenade in combat. I mean, there's earlier examples of like more primitive grenades, but the first like widely produced and you know issued grenade in World War One.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, Mills bomb.
That's that old school hitter, Daddy.
Oh yeah,
A 36-meter Mills bomb right there.
there it is.
And
man.
so then all those pieces would. So how does this one work?
Yeah, so there's you'd pull that pin, and then there's actually a little striker after you pull the pin and you let go of the grenade, and that would allow like a spring-loaded striker to hit a fuse, and that fuse would burn for approximately 5 seconds, and after that it would just go off. There's a little bit of high explosive in there, and then pretty much how they cut those shapes into the actual body of the grenade, the explosive power would break the grenade fragments on those cuts, and that would be your fragmentation. Early grenades were really used more for taking enemy positions than they were for really like outright killing them. So they would throw them. They weren't terribly lethal in terms of fragmentation. They would just throw them, especially inside of bunkers in World War I down in the trenches. Everyone would be dazed and confused because of the grenade that went off, blowing everyone's ears out and making them blind. And they would run in there with bayonets and really finish the job. That was really how it was done back in the day.
Nade City, dog. So I'm telling you guys, keep your shit together, dog. Y'all get naded out.
And in World War I, man, they had German stormtroopers when they were attacking enemy trenches.
Oh, yeah,
a lot of
they
times
did.
they wouldn't even go in with a rifle when they were attacking enemy position. They had these giant sacks that they would tie up to their shoulders, and they would just be full of grenades. They would have 12 grenades on them, and then like a club. So they would go in there at night raiding trenches, throw 12 grenades, and then after all the grenades go off, they'll run in there with a club and start beating people to death. Yeah, it was crazy. Crazy.
Man, it sounds like that movie Black.
Hawk down.
No.
Sheep.
Black. No.
Near.
No.
Delilah.
Black Swan. No.
Oh.
Black with the big fish in San Diego. What's that called?
Blackfish.
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 Nico, man, thanks so much. Any more questions, guys?
I think that's it.
Yeah, man. It looks like we're in an environment where a lot of people are getting armed.
Yeah. Hey, man. Firearms, man, they're a good way to go. It's a great hobby. It's a great way to protect your life, man. And as long as you use them safely, they're really just a lot of fun. So,
Do you think I could be a safe user of firearms?
I wouldn't sell it to you if I didn't think you would, man.
Right on, man.
To be perfectly honest with you, man.
Cool. Respect. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
dude.
of course, yeah.
Good to know I can do that. All right. Thank you so much for being here, man.
Oh, of
Appreciate
course.
it, man.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, you bet. Oh, wait. One more thing I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah.
So there was a video you were showing me of what other type of like hunting and outdoor activities do you like to do?
Well, here in LA, man, I do a lot of. The season just ended, but I do a lot of scuba diving. That's something I'm really into. So my cousin and I and my dad and my uncle will go out. So we got a lot of scuba gear, and we'll go down and in different spots around like pretty much the west side out in the ocean, and we go either out in a little boat or we go out there late at night, kind of Navy SEAL style, and we go there and pick out lobster. So we go out there with a lobster bag. We wear Kevlar gloves, flashlight, and you're there, and they come out at night to feed and breed.
Where are you at? Where are you located at here?
Right now? Where I live?
When you do it? No, when you do this.
Oh, Palos Verdes, around the marina, Redondo, up in Malibu, just pretty much the whole bay. And then you go out there late at night, and underwater, it's completely pitch black down there. So all the lobsters coming out, and we have bright flashlights. We're all, we're fully scubaed out. So we're about, 30, 40 feet underwater by the rocks, sometimes even shallower. And then you grab these big bugs, man, and they're trying to fight you, and they start grabbing and kicking, and then you stuff them in a bag. And you fill up the bag, the limit 7 per day. So we'll fill them up and then bring it back up. And we have some good cookouts. We also go I do a little bit of fishing. Out in a few rivers, we go crawfishing. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun. So it's similar to lobster. You just get a lot more of them, and they're smaller. And and then other than that, do hunting, and that's a lot of fun. Mostly birds, but do some deer hunting too. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
man.
that lobstering is so interesting, man.
Dude,
go out there at night.
Oh yeah, it's pitch fucking dark, dude. The first time I did it, I was freaking out. I was like, damn, you're down there with these ancient fucking crustaceans. These things have been on this planet way longer than we have.
Yeah.
And they're not used to motherfuckers going down there with scuba tanks and a 1,000 lumen flashlight, and they freak out, and you grab them up and you put them in a bag, man.
And do you use a weapon or anything? You just grab them with your hand.
Grab them with your hands, man. Kevlar gloves. You just grab them. Here they're California spiny lobsters, so they don't have claws like they do on the East Coast. They're just covered in spikes. Okay. So if you grab them with just your hands, they'll cut you up.
Oh Jesus!
So you grab with a Kevlar glove, so you stuff them in a bag.
Fuck yeah!
And they'll squeeze onto your hand real tight. They're actually surprisingly pretty strong, and if you get a big one, you got to go 2 hands. So you grab 2 hands, and you have to pretty much hold it onto your chest because they're trying to kick away from you,
like a baby almost.
Yeah, and then your dive buddy pretty much has to come and help him get it off and get into the bag. And it's crazy, man. If you land a big lobster, man, it's fucking wild. There's a lot of food there, man. So I've gotten a lot of lobster this year.
Sounds good, huh?
Oh yeah, and then you cook them up, man. I cook them up Aussie style. I throw them on the grill, just butter and seasoning, man. It's fucking good.
Get Gianni's little soft ass out there to catch one or ride one even.
Yeah, if you guys are down to come out in cold water, man. Yeah, we'll get some lobsters. We'll get some bugs out there.
Gianni get out there and ride a lobster around.
Oh hell yeah. Well, other than that, diving, man. I mean, I was diving in the Philippines. Saw a whale shark. I mean, I did another dive around a bunch of sardines. So I love diving, man. That's another big hobby of mine, man. I love scuba diving.
Yeah, I got to get more of that outdoor motif going on. I used to have it when I was young because we spent so much time outdoors, but the city will really change you.
Oh yeah, I mean, hey, it kind of kills your soul a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. Oh definitely, man. Yeah. Well, now I can kill other people's souls because I have 2 fucking guns, bro.
Yeah, there you go. Now you can fucking take souls while you lose yours, bro.
Nico, thank.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jonathan Kite, and welcome to Kite Club, a podcast where I'll be sharing thoughts on things like current events, stand-up stories, and 7 ways to pleasure your partner. The answer may shock you. Sometimes I'll interview my friends. Sometimes I won't. And as always, I'll be joined by the voices in my head.
You have 3 new voice messages.
A lot of people are talking about Kite Club. I've been talking about Kite Club for so long, longer than anybody else. So great. Hey, sweetheart, here's the deal. Anyone who doesn't listen to Kite Club is a dodgy bloody wanker. Do you know what I mean?
Hi, I'll take a quarter pounder with cheese and a McFlurry.
Sorry, sir, but our ice cream machine is broken.
Oh, no!
I think Tom Hanks just butt-dialed me. Anyway, first rule of Kite Club is tell everyone about Kite Club. Second rule of Kite Club is tell everyone about Kite Club. Third rule, Like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts or watch us on YouTube, yeah? And yes, don't worry, my Brad Pitt impression will get better.
Happy Monday, you little nickel-plated nut sacks. It's about that time again. You've been eating cat cocks all weekend, huh? You've been cracking open a crusted can of cat cocks? Well, meow. It's your boy, about to Sherpa you up this mad mountain of Mondayness. You guys ready? Do you think I have Michael Landon on my shirt? Well, oh. Welcome to This Past Weekend. This past weekend. You hear that? That's the Cambridge twang. That's what that sound is called. Listen to it. It kind of sounds like the kind of sound that, like, when everything's going, like in the movie, like when the couple is, you know, they're out and finally everything's going great. It's like the third date and it's just a montage and they're dancing and like spinning each other around in the rain and like, listen. Yeah, you see, we got the third date in the books and now we're bowling and kissing and, you know, trying on our bowling shoes and laughing and like punching each other softly, soft punches and doing stuff like that, you know? Or if you take maybe two squirrels, I don't know if you ever spent any time around squirrels, they're basically a very short ferret, but with a tail on it, kind of. And they're exciting animals. They're animals that are, I don't want to say they're beautiful animals, but I think I'll sit and talk with you about them all day. They are very enticing species, the squirrel. But yeah, this seemed like if a couple of them were just kind of in the trees going nuts. Listen. Just kind of running around and like grabbing like acorns and peeking out from behind the other tree and like scurrying up the branches. There you go. That's a little bit of Cambridge twang. That's the song right there. And we are here with you. And this is Monday, June 5th. And welcome to This Past Weekend. I appreciate you guys joining us today. But you already knew that. I have a feeling that you already knew that because I let you know all the time. I'm coming to you live for me for now on this Mondays of June. And that means summertime is coming right around the corner. The solstice is coming up. I believe that's June 21st or 22nd. And that should be is that the longest day of the year? Yeah. So if you got, if you got a friend that talks a lot, I wouldn't hang out with them on that day because you're liable to be out there, out and about, having to listen to them a little bit longer than usual. So I'd, spend that day with people who don't talk too much and who are, just who you like to have fun with. You don't have to really listen very much, as much or more than you should. I'm in Pittsburgh, coming to you live from a Courtyard Marriott, very basic. You could call it a hotel. It's kind of a motel to me. There's a kind of a very girthy sort of Indian or Middle Eastern man downstairs who I'm going to go out on a limb and say this fellow wants to do sex with me. He keeps baiting me downstairs, saying that the printer is fixed, and it's broken. And then he's like, oh, whatever. He's British as well. And he's like, oh, whatever am I to do? I'm just jeepers creepers. And the night shift, the people that work the night shift at hotels, man, I mean, they're either cool as fuck or they are fucked up. Because I have seen both types, man. I have seen both types, dude. One guy took me back in this baggage room where they kept a bunch of baggage one time, and he had a German Shepherd back there giving babies. Birth. Whelping, they call it when they're giving birth like that. This German Shepherd back there giving birth to baby animals. Little baby German Shepherds, you know that. So I just don't know what the fuck is going on, honestly, at some of these places. And I'm sorry to get fired up out of the gate and use this language, but, you know, I've been out here in Pittsburgh for 4 nights. Good city, but I'm on the outskirts. You know, I'm out here at one of these malls, and this is the kind of times when, in a comedian's life, dude, it's not great. It's not great. I want to go home. I'm tired. But with that said, I had some joy this weekend. You can look on the YouTubes. If you're on the YouTubes, I got a gentleman that makes some of my shirts. This gentleman, Kevin Best, and he showed up and made me some beautiful shirts, man. So that really, really cool. And this one is of Michael Landon, who, you know, I've always thought of as like a television prophet actor, you know, who really kind of led or tried to help lead everybody in a positive direction before he died of cancer, and cancer got him. Dude, I'm starting to wonder, like, what diseases are we going to have from this technology we have right now, you know? Like, we don't know anybody who has hit 65 years old and who's been on a phone, on a cell phone for 40 years. We don't know the effects. We don't know the effects of a lot of the medicines that we're on right now. I mean, what if at, 70 years old, somebody who's been using a cell phone for 30 years, what if their fucking eyeballs fall out of their head? Huh? What if that's one of the afflictions? And then you got a bunch of people running around with no eyes or walking slowly and being angry at Verizon, but still addicted to their phones. How crazy is that going to look when you have a guy with no eyes in his head, and you're like, what happened to you? And he says, sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm on the phone. Even though it's the phone that did it to him. That's where we're headed, guys. We got some great callers that called in about, one I'm going to leave us with today. A caller called a few weeks ago about the future, and I'm going to leave us with that one at the end of the lineup today, so you can see what you think. He had a good point, a good topic that I want to lead us into, and we can talk about that. But first, I want to tell you about here in Pittsburgh, man. I'm here. It's been a good time. Pittsburgh Improv. Had some nice people came out. The Neon Nightingale, he came out. You guys remember him from some of the previous episodes, and that was pretty sweet having him out and about. Got to meet him and his lovely lady. And they got a child that they left somewhere at home under the care of someone else. So that's the proper way to do it. But I've been in Pittsburgh all weekend. It rained today. That's about the most exciting thing that kind of happened to me. Spent time with my buddy's family. What else? I had a lot of lovely fans that came out, man. Lovely fans and friends. I'm going to tell you where I'm going up soon, and then we'll get into the news, and then we're going to hit into some calls and emails from people, from listeners, that we're going to offer some basic life suggestions, people that hit the hotline. I'm going to give you that hotline number right now, 985-664-9503. And the cities I'm hitting soon, Nashville, Las Vegas, Orlando, Calusa Casino in north of Sacramento, New York City, Stark County, Illinois. So those places are going to be coming up, as well as Addison, Texas. That's in Dallas, or outside of Dallas, that second week of August. But all those other cities are before the end of July. You can find them at theovon.com/tour, TOUR. As well, I got the new album that's out now, Musket Fire, The Early Years of Satire, and 30-pound bag of hamster bones. Both those are available right now. Check the tracks and make sure that you don't already own the album, though. I'm happy to be here with you guys, man. I'm happy to be here with you guys. Bill Cosby case is starting today. You may know that, you may not. To me, I think that Bill Cosby is guilty. Do I think he's guilty of copulating with however many those women are? I don't. I don't think he's guilty of all of them. Just based on my experience in L.A., I easily see how when one woman sees that something's going on, others will jump on. And it's not just a woman, people. They're doling out money over here. Let me jump in. There's a lot of hot ass out there in Los Angeles. A lot of gold digging, trifling women out there just trying to make a buck. I'm not even talking feminists. These aren't feminists. These are Rottweilers. Okay? These are them cooter Rottweilers, and they're just barking around with that crotch and trying to get that money, stack that paper, But I don't think that Bill Cosby will be convicted. I think he might be convicted of some civil charges, but I think he'll be the O.J. Simpson of vagina, and that's my theory. There you go. There you have it. I believe that. I think he'll get off, and I think he'll be the O.J. Simpson of Poise. Onward. More news. Kathy Griffin, everybody knows this, the bloody head she held up. I'm going to say this. And some people think like by even talking about it, you're creating publicity for her. I'm not creating publicity for Kathy Griffin. She's the only comedian that I've ever gone to their show a full hour and I didn't laugh. That's a true story. This is about 7 years ago. I went, or 8, could have been 8 years ago. I didn't laugh at all. She's not for me, her type of comedy. I get it. But I thought that this was just hack. I thought it was just, you're holding up a bloody head of the president. Get a life. You've made your money in this country, and show some gratitude. You don't have to show it to Donald Trump, but show it to the fact that that's the president for right now. That's who the president is. And I don't care who it is. I think that as an American, you have some responsibility to at least just go along with it. And I just think she could have come up with something much better or funnier. To me, she's not funny. And to me, I just thought that was un-American. That's kind of the feeling that it left me with. And I'm kind of just sick of all the Trump. I think the Trump jokes are just hack. It's like, we get it. Like, you don't like him. Okay, great. I voted for Obama twice. I wasn't a huge Obama fan. But I was inspired by what he was talking about. I think Obama did some good. I think he was a great example. I also think Obama was kind of a pussy when it came to a lot of stuff, to be honest. Sorry to use that language. I felt like he didn't really have any balls, I don't think he did a lot to inspire Black America. For me, that's just my perspective. You're like, well, Theo, you're not Black. You're right. I'm not. But I can still have a point of view. A lot of my Black friends have felt the same way. I think he's a great speaker. I think he's a great orator. I think he sounded amazing, no doubt. He looked good in pictures. Beautiful family, beautiful daughters. Probably a great hoopster. But to me, he was all talk. He was more of a celebrity than he was a man. I would look at him as more of a celebrity than I would as a man. So I don't know, the Kathy Griffin thing, I just didn't laugh, It wasn't funny to me. I think she's more of a loudmouth. And maybe she was a comedian at a time, but I've never seen her in a comedy club. Never seen her in any comedy club anywhere, except for the one time I went and saw her at a theater. And part of that's, I'm just sick of the un-American attitude. Like people saying that, oh, this country doesn't represent me and stuff like that. Like, maybe I'm old fashioned or something, but like, I feel, hold on, the air conditioner just came on. I got to shut it off. All right, I'm back. But I feel like if you live in the country, you cash your checks here, then have some gratitude, Have some freaking gratitude, If you don't like what's going on, then find some ways to change it. Be part of the solution, Shut the fuck up and contribute, all right? You don't have to make it better. You're not going to make it better by acting like you're not part of this country. If you don't want to be part of the country, then go. Go out for a few years and come back. Nobody's doing that. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's anti-America, but they're not leaving here. So it just kind of makes me upset, you know? And you can say, well, Theo, you're naive. You know, you still believe in some type of an American ideal or American dream. You know, I don't know how clearly I feel on some of that. But I do feel like we're fortunate enough to live here. We're blessed to live in this country. We should act like it. We should act like it, you know? And if something we don't like, find a more constructive way than just by sheer hatred, you know? I just don't get it. Bill Maher dropped the N-word. That's a little more news there. I thought with Bill Maher, in comparison to Kathy Griffin, at least Bill Maher, that's him. You know who he is. You know, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I don't live in a world where I know personally hundreds of people who you would think never use the N-word, who I hear use it. I'm not going to sit in a world and pretend that that's the case. People use it a lot, you know. They don't use ER, but I hear NIGGA all the time. And I don't condone it. I don't think it helps. I do think it's a derogatory word, right? But I believe that it's going to take time for us to get it out of the vocabulary of humanity. And I think that today more kids learn it today from music than they do from racist channels or influences. How do we defeat it? For me, I think that you take it out of music and you let time pass. You just need time. But also, that's just my thoughts on it. Some people are like, you're white, you don't get to comment on it. And that's understandable. If somebody takes that stance, I might maybe almost agree with them, you know. That's a weird ground. But I think with Bill Maher, you just know who he is. That's who he is. He's the kind of guy who drops a wild joke like that, who is not afraid to use a word like that. I'm not surprised. I mean, Bill Maher is he's spicy, he's derogatory, he's always misogynistic. I think in a way he's kind of like a Trump in a way, you know? And I'm not saying that he's a horrible person. I don't know the man. But I'm saying that I feel like at least you get who he is. You're not shocked. I don't know who was super shocked by that. Like I know people on Twitter get angry, but Twitter angriness to me, not even real. Twangry. If you're twangry, that's not real. That's fake. If you just sit there and tweet something and then do nothing about it or have no, it's just, to me, it seems really, really fake. But as compared to Kathy Griffin, you have no idea who she is. You just think, oh, she's just this Muppet trying to make some weird splash, and it didn't go well, and then she's blaming white people, and just give it up. You seem to have led a pretty privileged life. And she just seems to have no gratitude for that. And that just pissed me off. And you don't have any idea who Kathy Griffin is. She's this snarky kind of early Perez Hilton sort of. She was kind of like a human TMZ that just told these weird behind the scenes stories about celebrities that I never thought were super funny. And then she just like kowtowed to the gay community for her fanship. But Bill Maher, I mean, that's who he is. You know, at least you're like, oh, that's exactly who he is. Kathy Griffin, you're like, what the fuck is this? This lady's out of her mind. Anyway, so those are some of my thoughts on the news. What else is going on? I mean, they had the tragedy over there in England. I don't know what to think about that kind of stuff, you know? I mean, it's crazy to think that you want our military to get involved in things because it's just kind of scary, you know? But yeah, I mean, I just, you know, my thoughts and prayers are really with those people who, you know, are dealing with their children and having to deal with that. And I like thoughts and prayers. Some people don't like them. I mean, to me, all a thought or a prayer is, it's hope. It's a moment of meditation. It's a moment of you trying to express good energy towards people that need it. And to me, there's a ton of value in that. People are always like, thoughts and prayers don't solve anything. I disagree. You know, surely they're not going to make you a sandwich. You know, if you're thinking and praying for bologna and cheese to meet in your kitchen, you're dead wrong. But if you're thinking and praying that the hearts of someone who's hurting could find more comfort, I think that things like that can really occur. So I believe in some of those things. We got the hotline, man. I'm going to get right into it because it's late, bro. It's late for me. And I don't want to live like this, dude. I don't want to live up this late I just want to get some rest. To be honest, I got a flight in 4 hours and 50 minutes. I'm flying out of Pittsburgh. So let's get it in. I'll say this on the hotline, that number again, 985-664-9503. The first one, we got a message that came in. This was a text, and then we'll get to some calls. Theo, Austin here, texting in from the University of Central Missouri. Your last podcast, you said you attended 6 different universities. Next year, I graduate and start the process of paying off my student loans, and was wondering how you handled all your debt, if you had any, and any advice as I jump into the real world with loads of debt. Thank you. You're the mother effing man. Here's what I say about student loans, young buck. Austin, named after a city. I've always wanted to have a daughter named Chicago. I thought that'd be a neat name. Or maybe a son named St. Petersburg. But here's what I want to say about student loans, dude. Don't worry about that. That's my thought on it. I mean, because you can get your student loans down to where you're paying like a little bit of money basically over the rest of your life. You know, I've been out of school for 15 years. I've refinanced them here and there. I basically have paid. There were times where I didn't have to pay anything, where they gave me some, a period of grace period. But otherwise, I probably paid $100 a month for about 15 years. But you know what? Don't worry about that shit, dude. Because if you worry about small stuff, then you live small. That's one thing I've noticed. If I could go back in time, if you worry small, you live small. You worried about all that small shit, dude, if you're worried about that small shit, you will never make a stink, man. That's what I'm going to tell you. You got to worry big, dude. You know? I mean, think about this. You might get in with a company in 5 years and not have to even pay your student loans. Some companies, when you come to work for them, part of the contract is they pay off your student loans. I mean, there are real possibilities like that in your future. So for you sitting there worrying about that $100 a month, I promise you will be okay. That doesn't mean go out and drink every night and not take care of yourself and not have a job, but find employment and worry big, you know. I'd worry about how am I going to own a rental property in 5 years. That's a bigger goal, man. I'd take on a bigger goal like that. Set a goal like that instead of these. If you're worrying down here, you're living down here. If you're worrying up here, you're living up here. So I'd get up there, man. That's what I'd say. You know, don't look at it as, oh, I owe $150,000. That's huge. That's crazy. Look at it as, oh, I owe $100 a month because I borrowed an education and I got to pay it back. Don't waste the education, man. Just get out there. Stay busy. Stay busy. A man should always be working. I used to live with a friend of mine, and his dad told me that. It's one thing he told me. He said a man should always be working. I don't mean every day, but I mean you should have a job. Good luck out there, Austin. All right, let's get to a call here. Let's see what we got.
Hey, Theo. This is Alex in Atlanta. Just giving you a call. Love the podcast. I wanted to get your advice on a roommate situation I have.
This is Alex in Atlanta calling about a roommate situation he has.
I live with a good friend, recently moved in with him, but I'm having trouble sort of adapting back to having a roommate. He's sort of a kid who comes from money and seems to never really have had any responsibility in his life. I'm quite the opposite.
Okay, so he moved back in with a roommate. It sounds like he didn't have a roommate, and now he's moved back in with the roommate. He's having trouble adjusting to that, and the roommate is maybe more of a silver spoon type of boy. Like he's had types of things given to him onward.
Got a full-time job, since I've been in high school and worked for all my bills, and I just it's kind of been a struggle for me, sort of not kind of being an asshole to him and coming off as a prick of a roommate. But it's just one of those things where, he sleeps all day. The few responsibilities I give him to benefit the two of us.
Oh, wow. So he's saying that, it's hard for him not to be a prick to his roommate. But then you say, Alex, I think it was Alex, you said the few responsibilities you give him. So it seems like your take on this, it seemed like you're having trouble adapting to being in a roommate situation, dude. Because if you're giving this dude, if you're like giving demands out of him, it sounds like you're not going to, some of those things you're not going to get, I mean, if you're expecting him to do all these things and expecting him to live a certain way, he's an adult too, he might be set in his ways. It sounds like you're more angry that you have to now live with someone, to me. Here, let's hear the end of this real quick.
Two of us as roommates, he just, takes forever to do anything and just never really gets anything done. But just, wanted to get your advice on that. I appreciate it. Love your podcast.
All right, man. Thank you so much for calling in about it. So you got the new roommate. Here's what I think, man. I think I don't know if you're ever going to be happy with him. If you started out in this vibe where he doesn't contribute enough, or the few responsibilities you give him, he doesn't get done, you're going to have to find a way to get out of that whole mindset. Otherwise, you're going to drive yourself miserable, because it sounds like he's living it up, he's comfortable in enough situation. He's got a roommate. He's resting. His parents are taking care of things. That's going to be his life for now, And if you guys are arguing, then it's only going to make things even worse. So you don't want to get into an argumentative state, man. Maybe if he doesn't want to contribute and there are things he has to do, maybe see if he'd be willing to put in with to a cleaner, like a house cleaner that comes once a week. That way he can get whatever his responsibilities are done, make his responsibility some of the cleaning, and then he can pay to have them done. So that way it takes it off of his chest. But you can't feel bad if he's not physically doing those things. You can expect him out of him, but at a certain point, if he's not doing them, he's not doing them. And that's just sometimes how roommates are. When I think of roommates, I think of two people arguing over dishes. That's what I think of. And somebody else ends up writing their name on the damn spaghetti sauce. And then, we had a guy who jumped out of his own window, tried to kill himself when he was on drugs or something, but he was only on the first floor. So he ended up just breaking his window and damaging a set of Venetian blinds. But he was an idiot, but he tried to kill it. He tried to, we had roommate wars and all that shit and people losing their mind, things can happen with your roommates where you can be fun. You want to be in a fun environment. I remember one time, eating some drugs or something and being on LSD and cooking a pizza in the dryer. And I'll tell you this, it takes 4 hours for a medium to be edible. And that's one thing I learned by having fun with my roommates. We used to get drunk and my roommate would let me lay on the hood of his car and he would drive me all around town. Back when you could be young and fun. Not now. But I think you need to quit expecting him. You sound like a parent. It almost sounded like a parent calling in. So you're going to have to just find a way to get in a better mind space. Here's what I would do. I would maybe sit and let him know how you feel, but you can't come from a point of anger. Just say, this is what's going on. You need to take that stuff where he's silver spoon kid and all that shit out of it. That doesn't matter. That's his life and that's your lives are different. Oh, well, that's that. But I would sit there and just let him know how you feel, that you just need some more help with things. Offer up the idea of maybe getting a maid. That way you guys aren't milling around fighting about it. And then, dude, it's going to sound crazy, bro. I'd pray for the dude. Pray for him for 2 weeks, man. And you're thinking this is some Christian ideas. Nah, I'm not saying that. Just 2 weeks in a row, every day, just hope the best for him. That's what you want to do. Hope the best. Man, I hope he just sleeps all day in pure comfort while I handle the chores. Because then here's what happens is, then you suddenly, you are a proponent of his. So even if you have these issues, he starts to become something you're cheering for instead of something you are angry against. It sounds crazy, but it'll adjust that perspective inside of you, man. And those are just my thoughts, man. Those are things that I would do if I were in that scenario. That shit might not work out. You guys might end up, taking scissors to each other's necks. you know? And they might be playing this call in a court case soon. Who knows, bruh? But that's what I'm sharing with you. That's my basic life suggestion for this. All right, let's crack into another one. Thank you very much for calling, too. I do want to say that. I do appreciate the calls. I know this week we'd wanted people to call in who were missing an appendage. If somebody had lost an arm, or, you know, I know a man who cut his wiener off one time when he was on drugs up there in Mississippi. And his family used to run the Ramada. And he cut off his wiener up there, and he's better now, and he dealt with all that. But I'm always real curious as to what it's like if somebody's missing an appendage, and just how that feels. And, you know, is it a constant thing where you think about it every day, or do you just get used to it? I didn't get any calls about that, I don't think. So if somebody has that and they're just afraid to share, I want you to know that I'm not trying to make fun of you, or if you have a friend that you might think could call in and tell us about that. That's what I want to know, is just some behind the scenes of not having a leg, or, you know, just some kind of tips and hints if you don't have a leg or an arm, or if you know someone who doesn't. Have them give us a buzz. All right, let's move on to another call. Here we go. This is from abroad.
Hey, Theo. So, second time calling. I'm just watching your podcast right now. I'm just waking up. I'm actually working abroad. I work in Ukraine.
Ukraine. Now, if you're not familiar with Ukraine, that's over there near Russia, Poland. That's a wild. It's the Wild West. A lot of snowball fights. A lot of children with stone shoes, and, you know, girls carrying stone dolls around. It's a tough life over there. So thank you for calling internationally, brother. Onward.
I'm an English teacher.
You're an English teacher.
Anyway, just having a few issues. You know, I'm over here by myself.
Ooh, alone in the Ukraine. Also, the Ukraine is a lot of where those movies Hostel, and those movies where kids get murdered, or not children, adults get murdered on their spring break and stuff. So that's, I guess, a popular pastime in Ukraine. Onward.
Working abroad over here. I got a girl that I'm dealing with. Been seeing her for a few months. And it's just, these girls these days, man, they don't even officially say, or you guys don't have no talks. She's already expecting me to go to, like, family birthdays and just stuff I'm not into. And the crazy part is, this is my second time already dealing with these Ukrainian girls. Like,
okay, so he's having some issues here with these Ukrainian girls. You know, they're expecting a lot out of him, and he's not having the talks. They're not, you know, things aren't becoming clear. You know, if it's a serious relationship or just a dating or something like that, I'm guessing. Let's listen more.
You meet them, you start hanging with them, everything's cool. You tell them you want to take it slow, you don't want nothing serious. And then all of a sudden, you're just like buying birthday presents, and I don't know, man. What do you think about that? On these girls, just as soon as they get with you, they just act like your girlfriend. They don't have no discussions. And have a good one, man. Once again, long distance phone call. It's costing me money.
All right. Well, I appreciate you making that investment in this past weekend. The Ukrainian girls, man, if you calling, I mean, let's be honest, man, if you over there with the Ukrainians, a lot of them, you know, they got a lot of, I'll tell you out the chute here, a lot of that pornography comes out of the Ukraine and, you know, the Soviet Union, and, you know, those girls like to get wild, you know, real butt universe over there. But here's the thing. You said you're taking it slow. You tell these girls we're taking it slow. But even after taking it slow for a few months, that builds up speed, man, you know, in the mind of a woman. You know, things start to mean something to them, you know, if you spend time. You know, I got a gal that I've been just starting to spend some time with, and that makes me, I get nervous, you know. I get nervous. Because for me, it's just, am I ready to be a man? Do I think I can be that, you know, that stable? Can I be a stable man in a relationship? Am I there enough yet in my head and in my heart? Do I have enough of my things taken care of in my life to do that, to really be that man? But for you, it sounds like you just want to be casual, but these women start expecting something. And then you go into birthdays and parties and fiestas and, y'all are, you guys might be doing, you think you're just taking a walk, but then she have y'all jump into a carriage ride. And now y'all are carriage riders, or listening to somebody play the violin, or whatever they do over there in Russia, listening to somebody, softly beat their children, by candlelight, or whatever romance happens over there, just watching somebody wash their forehead with soapy water or whatever. I'm Polish, so I know, I'm Polish Nicaraguan, so I know some of, I got in my blood some of what's going on over there. I can hear it in my heartbeat sometimes, some of the trite magic that comes out of there over from that, from the far Eastern Europe. But I'll say this, man, I think you don't want anything serious, but these girls are going to start to expect it. And one of the craziest types of women to date are Russian women. Or Eastern European women. You know that, bro. You know that. You have to know that. I mean, they will. I've dated one girl in LA that was a Russian girl, and then she actually went to jail for beating up her landlord, I think. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 88% sure, 7 or 75 or something percent sure. I know she was on trial for it because she tried to get me to come down to the courthouse a few times. Beautiful girl, and they all want to be Lara Croft Tomb Raider, and I don't know what happened, but they get wild. And that's why I say, it's tough to date some of those ladies because they will knuckle into you. They just have that Cold War in them. They got the dark arts. They grew up playing with stone dolls and eating wooden candy. And when you grew up with that rough of a childhood, when you finally get a little something, you get anything, even if it's somebody's feelings. Feelings are a big, are a commodity there. When you live in a land that has nothing, when you live in a land that's second and third world. I mean, remember the Olympics? They said that some of the hurdles were made out of goat bones and stuff. I mean, these people were putting shit together, I remember, some of the places where Olympians were sleeping were just other people's houses. They just sent them to like a rich person's house and hoped that the rich person would let them stay. Like, that's crazy. Or it's not crazy. I mean, it's not crazy. It's one of the things that comes with a third world nation, man. So if you're over there and people don't have anything to eat, if you take a woman out on a date and the best y'all can even get is maybe a bowl of fish soup or something to share, and y'all are sharing just some salmon soup, and then the feelings that you give her, the emotions that you give her, those are going to be a big commodity. Whereas where you get over in the first world, you get over in LA or Birmingham, Alabama, or some of these fancy spots, and these women don't give a shit about the feelings, and not all of them, but when you get into these higher money areas, that's when they care about the Lamborghinis, and the Vivici dresses and the Vivaldi designer bags and all of this shit. So you're over there where a hot commodity is feelings and time. And I'm envious of you, man, because it sounds like you have an LA mindset, but you have it over there in a place where people want to be attached. And, we're living here in America where I think a lot of people want a little bit more attachment. So if you don't care about her, maybe you just then let her go if she's getting too attached, Think about it like this. Say you are allowed to fish somewhere, and they say, yeah, you can catch the fish and you can enjoy them, You could hug them by the bank and touch them if you want. You can be wild with them. And you have fun, and you tell the fish right when you catch it, I'm just going to keep you here by the bank with me, and it's just going to be fun. Then you throw the fish back in the water. What do you think that fish is honestly going to do? You've been over there snuggling with that fish and licking its sides and touching its gills, and y'all been getting to know each other for weeks. This is a fish that's been living underwater, and here it is breathing air next to another another being, a human, but still another being. You think that fish is going to swim off, not care? No, it's not gonna. Especially a third world fish, man, where affection and time are commodities. So you add those things into the fact that Eastern European women are 70 or 58 or 65% psychopath, or pretty edgy, mentally edgy. Dude, that's fire right there. You are flirting with fire. So if you're over there getting your dick burnt, I'm not surprised, bud. What advice do I have for you? At a certain point, you got to commit. Otherwise, just quit. Just at a certain point, you probably have to commit, or you need to be more stern in the beginning and let them know what the scenario is. But don't get angry at them. And if they invite you to a birthday party, get a damn present, dude. You know, go out there. You might meet somebody at a birthday party. That's a special event. They got cake, and they might have camel, or not pony rides or whatever you guys have over there. Moscow mules. You could probably do anything. Who knows what they're even eating over there? A birthday, somebody probably only lives to about 11 or 12 in Ukraine. Go over there and celebrate. 15% of their life, they're inviting you. Go enjoy that. Be a part of something. So I appreciate you calling, man. And I feel you, if you don't want to be involved. But feel thankful, because they got men over here looking for some action, looking for love. And these women are offering it to you. So at least treat the women with some gratitude, enough that they care. But good luck, man. Good luck to you. And I appreciate you calling international. All right, let's get another one right here. Let's see where we're at time-wise. About 40 minutes. And thank you guys for paying attention and being involved. I'm also considering this Patreon, where we do some, maybe we do special episodes each week or something like that. But I'm considering Patreon or Patreon. I'm in this motel, and I just heard my neighbor. I think they're pissed off at me. I don't blame them. I mean, I'm the dude who's chatting about, Ukrainian, dating habits through the walls at 3:19 in the morning. All right, here's another. This was a text that came in. Theo, what's up, man? This is Andrew from Iowa. Huge fan of all your stuff. I look forward to your podcast every week. So I have this situation I want to talk to you about. I've been seeing this girl. We have hooked up 4 times. Every time we end up going for it for about an hour. Wow. You ever had sex for an hour, dude? Well, that's your problem right there. If you give a woman an hour of sex, they're going to want more sex, dude. My move, give a woman 7 or 8 minutes of troublesome, awkward sex. And then they might not want it again. So you might want to consider that, just to kind of slow down the pace you're on. This is only the second girl I've had relations with. And the same thing happened the 2 times I hooked up with the first girl. So I know the answer to this is to stop jerking it. But I wanted to ask you how you get to sleep when you are abstaining from masturbation. I've gotten into the routine of jerking it and falling asleep real fast. I'm sober now, so booze is not an option. I really want to quit the masturbation so I can have better sex. Thanks, dude. Andrew, I appreciate you reaching out from Iowa. I've had some good times in Iowa. I visited the Field of Dreams there, the actual one from the movie site, from the movie filming. It's there, and it's a nice thing to see if you drive through Iowa. I also had a good chicken fried steak there. But let me answer your question. You can't finish sexually. So if you sensually, you aren't finishing, so what, bro? Huh? So what, dude? I have sex sometimes and don't finish. You're not wrong for that. You don't have to finish every time. Have you ever started playing basketball and then it rains? Guess what, dude? You didn't finish, bro. Now, if you're jerking off right before bed, and that's your issue, then the problem is you have all that energy. You need to get rid of that energy throughout the day, and you have to get out and play hoops, or get some kettlebells, or kick a ball around the yard, do soccer with the neighbor, or find some way to get that energy out of you. Go to the gym. If it's mental energy, and that's what's causing you to jerk out and to skeet up, then you need to, you know what I do? Sometimes I'll watch car accidents on the internet, you know? That'll sometimes help me tone down. I'll burn something in the bathroom sink, you know, burn an old shoe or some piece of paper, you know, something to get that edge off of me, you know, something to let the devil out. Because what's happening to you is if you're feeling like you have to ejaculate to get that devil out of you. That's not true. You can get that devil out of you by some other way. You could chop a tree down. You could dig a hole in the yard, put something in there. You know, do a time capsule. You could just go for a run. You could lift weights. But you could watch karate, watch old adult karate on the internet. They got senior citizen karate. You know, it's exciting, but it's not too violent where it makes me scared to go to bed. But it helps take some of that nervous energy out of me, watching that attack, you know, those attack moves. So anyhow, I hope that answers your question. But don't feel bad if you're not spraying out during sex, man. You don't have to. Okay, that's something you see in pornography. You don't have to spray out. But I commend you on being sober. And if you think it sounds like you're answering your question for you. You know, you're answering your own question. You know, you said, so I know the answer to this is to stop jerking it. And that's probably is the overall answer, is to take that time away. You know, you'll be more involved and you'll actually get the release from where it's supposed to come from. You know, another human. But if it's anxiety, if it's that devil in you, and if it's that mental nut, that, you know, that when you feel that devil just gearing up in your heart and in your rectum and in your crotch, then you need to find a way to let that out. And that, I think, is doing the gym or watching car accidents online or watching adult karate or, you know, doing ping pong. I don't do yo-yos or any of that kind of shit. That shit's boring, I think, a yo-yo. But anyhow, good luck to you, man, and best of love and luck to you out there as you backing off that skeet and focusing on having natural ejacs at the end of sex. But don't feel bad if you don't. And I appreciate you calling, man. I appreciate you sharing or not calling, but sharing this text with us. All right, man. Let's check in one more. Here we go. And this one, this is one that I want to leave us on here, man. This guy, he had some thoughts, dude, and I really liked them. And I want to end us on this here. Let me see if I can find this. Here we go. Right here. Let's go.
Yo, Theo, what up? My name's Ben. A white dude from the suburbs of New York City.
White dude from the suburbs of New York. You hear that? We got a newsie on the line, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for calling, Ben.
This is response to your future predictions.
And Ben's calling about the future. He called it about 2 weeks ago, I think, and we were talking about the future and things like that. And I want to get back into some of that, and I'm going to use this call to lead us there. I want to know what you guys think about what Ben says here. Here we go.
I think what's coming 10 years from now, there's going to be a big cultural meltdown, I feel, between what it means to be a man and a woman from my generation.
Okay, so Ben's saying what it means to be a man and a woman from his generation, cultural meltdown. Here we go.
Because right now, there's a whole bunch of blurred lines and all that, and it's just getting crazy right now.
A lot of blurred lines right now. I agree, or at least, yeah, I agree.
But the fact is, I saw a stat yesterday on Snapchat saying, 3 million more women are graduating from college every year than men. The result of that is going to be, major income inequality coming up. And when it comes time to raise a family and stuff, my generation's pretty lost in terms of what it means to be a man, what it means to be a woman.
So he's saying that there will be 3 million more women a year graduating college than men, into a generation where already there's a very blurred line of what it means to be a man and what it means to be a woman. This is interesting. And I looked that up, and he's right. According to different studies, there appears to be more women graduating college and enrolling in college than men. Onward.
The roles that we have to play. And I just don't think that we're ready for that, going from being completely lost of what it means to be, a man or woman, to being thrown into the hard position of being the reliant spouse.
Let's back it up for 1 second so we get all of what he said. I shouldn't have interrupted that. Here we go.
The family and stuff, my generation's pretty lost from in terms of what it means to be a man, what it means to be a woman, the roles that we have to play. And I just don't think that we're ready for that, going from being completely lost of what it means to be, a man or woman, to being thrown into the hard position of being the reliant spouse in a marriage. And I think that's going to cause major cultural turmoil, and, who knows what the result of that's going to be. 10 years from now, I think that's going to happen.
Wow. Do you hear that? He's saying within 10 years, the effects of that are going to be really wild. When more women are the reliant bread earners in families and in relationships and in marriages than men. And just overall, that's scary to me. It is scary. I don't think it's scary because women will be the ones making more money. It's scary because I worry about what effect that might have on a man, on the psyche of a man. Are we moving too fast for our psyches to be able to handle it? There's something intrinsic in a man where you want to be the provider, where you want to be, the one who's bringing home the ducats, stacks on stacks. And now it's going to be women. It's going to be women who are doing this in 10 years. That's what he theorizes. So I'd love to know what some of you guys' thoughts are. Do you agree on this? I'm going to put it out an episode on Thursday evening that's just about this. Like, what do you think? What do you think about what he has to say here? Do you think this is true? Do you think that's wild? Do you worry about that? In 10 years, I grew up with just a single mother. So it's like, I was used to my mother being the breadwinner. But would it have been different if I had same age parents or similar, and then the mom is making all the money and the dad is dealing with the feelings of that? Or is that just going to be commonplace where, the fact that men feel like they need to be that is going to start to disappear, that's just an old feeling that, that we don't need to have anymore. Almost like the appendix, there's theories that at some point the appendix was necessary for man, but that now it's just this piece in your body that gets infected sometimes when you're playing Little League baseball and you have to go to the hospital immediately. So what's it going to be, man? Because that could be startling. And are these women going to want to be, are they just going to be the breadwinners and then still want to be mothers? Are they going to be, insane, aggressive feminists? One thing I notice about a lot of aggressive feminists, they're not mothers. They don't have any children. You look at a lot of these extreme pro-Hillary feminists during the election stuff. A lot of them, the celebrity ones that I see, not mothers, don't have any biological children of their own. Does that play a role? Is that where we're headed, where women don't want to be carrying babies anymore? They just want to, be breadwinners. I don't know. And what will men feel like? What are we going to feel like? When you come home, your wife's, got all the cash and you got to ask her for money. Men might just be like, this is fucking awesome. Maybe it's time for us to take that side seat and let women do it. Are we still going to feel sexually attracted to those women? Are we headed towards a gender war 200 years from now? Can Wonder Woman defeat Al Bundy from Married with Children? A lot of questions out there, but I love that. I love that final question there, and that was by.
Yo, Theo, what up? My name's Ben.
That was Ben, and that's from Mount Kisco. area, and that's New York, outside of the city. And I love that. I love that he called, and I appreciate that. It's a great question, man. It's a great question, and we're going to leave it there, and that's something that you guys can call in and comment on this week. And I'm going to try to put up a special about that on Thursday. That's going to be the goal. And also, we're considering Patreon, where we do something special for listeners each month. It's kind of a subscription-based service. I just want to know what you think about this. It's something I'm considering, just so that I can get into like a regular type of studio space, maybe get us a little bit better camera, and just have some, a producer that's helping constantly. I'm fortunate enough right now. I got this guy Sherb, who brings us into his studios over on in Conscious Studios. I got a guy Adam who helps give me advice. I got a guy Chris and my buddy Ken Highland and Chris Mako. I got guys helping out, but I'd love to be able to, things cost money. I'd love to be able to create a system that's a little bit stronger. But also, I don't want to damage what we have going on. I'm grateful to you guys for calling in. You can also feel free to call in and hit the hotline with any other issues or problems. Whatever's going on, man. You got something in your brain, something in your heart, drop it in there, and I appreciate it, man. And if I can relate at all, I will share my experience. Or if you hit me with a stomper and you got my brain going, then I'm going to share it like we did here just now with Nick, because that's wild to think that in 10 years, women could have all that money, And has that just changed the dynamic of what it means to be in a relationship and what it means, how that fits? Can we still be a man if we're not the breadwinner? Can you still feel like a man? I mean, it's hard to feel like one now. I don't know if it's hard to feel like one, but it's hard to feel like you can express that you're one. But also I think some of that's just America. I hope it is. And hopefully it's just a phase that we're going through and some of this evens out. Because I think we should all be able to have the true joy of whatever our gender is, or even if you're gender neutral, you should be able to have that joy, whatever that is, I don't think somebody has to win. And that's what I don't like about some of the feminism. It's like they have to win. Why do you have to win? You don't have to, you're not beating men. Okay. Equality means that we're all trying to figure it out and we're working together. And some things I don't want to be equal, because some things aren't for debate. Some things aren't, they're not something you can equate, I still want women to be women and men to be men. Because I think that's a beautiful little puzzle that we've been trying to put together for centuries. And I don't want us to stop that, And I think that's nature. That's how nature works. That's how nature works, man. So, and I love that, man. I'm a Romeo and Julietter. You know that. But thank you guys for calling in this week, man. I'm going to leave us out here. I'll see you guys next weekend at Calusa Casino. And then I will see you coming up soon. Nashville. If you have any friends in Nashville, July 7th and 8th, send them out, man. I'm excited for that weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, here we go, man, on the way out. Thank you guys for hanging out on this past weekend. It's called Drift Apart by Epidemic Sound. Are we drifting apart, man, as men and women? I don't know. I didn't see it that much in, you get out of Los Angeles, you get into like Pittsburgh, and it's still, you see a lot of women wanting to be women and men wanting to be men. So that's nice to see. It's also nice to know there's a lot of empowered women out there who feel, that it's more of a team effort sometimes. And men who recognize that. That's important. It's called Drift Apart, man. And damn, we drifting apart in this world, bro. But I still believe that there's ways not to. And I still believe at the core that people are good people. We just got to spend time with them in real time. And we got to figure it out. Right? But we keep showing up, we move onward, we'll get it done, man. We'll get there. I hope we'll get to a good place. I'd love to know what you guys think, man. Hit me up on the hotline. Have a great week. take care of yourself. 'Cause you probably deserve it, man. You know? Be good to yourself. Because I bet that you deserve it. Y'all have a good one.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jonathan Kite, and welcome to Kite Club, a podcast where I'll be sharing thoughts on things like current events, stand-up stories, and 7 ways to pleasure your partner. The answer may shock you. Sometimes I'll interview my friends. Sometimes I won't. And as always, I'll be joined by the voices in my head.
You have 3 new voice messages.
A lot of people are talking about Kite Club. I've been talking about Kite Club for so long, longer than anybody else. So great.
Hey, sweetheart, here's the deal. Anyone who doesn't listen to Kite Club is a dodgy bloody wanker. Do you know what I mean?
Hi, I'll take a quarter pounder with cheese and a McFlurry.
Sorry, sir, but our ice cream machine is broken.
No!
I think Tom Hanks just butt-dialed me. Anyway, first rule of Kite Club is tell everyone about Kite Club. Second rule of Kite Club is tell everyone about Kite Club. Third rule, like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts or watch us on YouTube, yeah? And yes, don't worry, my Brad Pitt impression will get better.